Hello, guys. Hello. And um, okay, so may problema ako. Ang problema ko, hindi ko mahanap yung mga pangalan niya sa participants list. So there's a good chance that if you ask me inside the Q&A, hindi ko rin siya makita. So if anyone here could, sino ba mag-volunteer? If anyone here could, like take note of all the incoming questions na darating. Yan. Gerard, pogi. Well, actually, hindi ako pogi. And malakas lang daw dating ko. Naks. The joke lang. Ayan. Can you guys hear me? Ayan. And can you guys see the slides? Alright. Yan. Yan ang ano eh. Okay, so let's wait for the others. We're now at bright and white slides. So, bro, I don't know any other way to do the slides. Yan lang talaga ang alam ko siya. So ayan. Anyway, wala mo ng video while I'm doing this slides kasi we just tested ni Alan kanina. If you notice, si Alan, I'm not sure if he's here already. Hindi. Alan, bro, nandito ka na ba? Hindi ko alam kung ano eh, kung anong meron, but kanina nag-choppy. Ayan. Nag-choppy kami kanina pa. So, might as well not do muna yung video. Mamaya na lang pag question and answers na. Ayan. Nasobrahan yata ng ano. Sabi ko na hindi na ako magsasando. Next time na lang. Let's see. Let's wait for the others. Baka dapat nakasat. Umay yun, umay. Medyo bagal yung mga ano ngayon eh. Buti na lang dalawa yung ano sa bahay. Naninigurado talaga. Ayan. Okay, so good evening guys. So, kasi ng mga nandito, banggitin ko lang yung mga nandito. Gerard, Lux, Audrey, Darius, up man? Nice to see ya. James, Jeff, what's up man? Trabaho tayo, di ba? Marlon, sup, Roxy, Jan, hi Jan, Donald, Liza, sino pa ba dito? Gerard, bakit ko na pala siya, Gerard. Grace, Liza, daming Liza, Rudolph, and sino pa ba nandito? Lynn, sup Lynn, Yvonne, hello Yvonne, and April, patay, ako hindi pa ako nakaihi, inom ako ng inom. Hi Kate and Abigail. So 3 minutes and let's start at exactly 8:05. And para ano naman. Okay, for those yung mga nandito guys, can you guys do me a favor? If you can go back to the thread na pinag-commentan niyo ng Don, if you can remind them that it's all going at the webinar. And para baka mamaya na-miss nila kakadan nila na-miss nila na ngayon talaga yung webinar. And hi Rose. Ayun si Nikki, what's up? And Yvonne, may utang pa pala ako sa Yvonne na mamaya patapos. And so Noel, what's up man? Dali. Yan. So good evening guys. And may mga pumapasok pa. Sa mga pumapasok, just let me know kung naririnig niyo ako or pag hindi, may problema yung headset niyo. Yeah. Right? Tingin ko ano na. Dennis of Dennis, RD. Yan. Okay. So it's 8:04, malapit na mag 8:05. We're gonna start at 8:05. Sa mga hindi pa nagpaparamdam, paramdam naman kayo. And hindi ko kayo makita sa participants. So, hindi ako manghuhula. Ano ba to? Hmm, labo eh. Hindi ko talaga makita yung attendees. So, kaya mag-read dito. Yan. Hi, Rhea. Gandang gabi. Right? So, 8:05. Yan, simulan na natin to kasi medyo mahaba-haba to. Hi, Donna. Ayan. Yun, nakapasok din si Alan sa wakas. Utang na loob. Bro, how do I make you, how do I make you, kasi hindi ko makita yung panelist pare. Panelist ka ba sumali? May gulay. Um, Paano ba? Si Roxette na naman sila. Sa totoo lang, alam ko hindi ako techie, pero alam ko may problema. Kasi pag piniplit yung attendees, walang lumalabas. Hindi ko mahanap, hindi ko mahanap yung like blank screen siya. So, hindi ko mahanap yung name ni Alan sa list kasi walang lumalabas. So, yun lang ang problema ko talaga. Sige bro, bro, pa-take note na lang ng mga questions para may questions sila dyan. Ayan. Ayan. So, babalitaan na lang, babalitaan na lang kita bro. Grabe to si Roxy. Mapangano ka, judgmental ka sa akin. Ayan. So, babalitaan ka na lang na sabay bumawi. Matapos mo akong, judge. Babalitaan lang kita bro kung ilan yung attendees. Right now, we have 72 inside, 72 people. Tingin ko pwede na yan. Right. So, let's start with the product launch sequence, right? So this is sabi ko nga dito, how to give your clients their biggest launch ever using only email. Now, so first week, guys, pakidibay na lang ako. First week, what did we exactly talk about first week? Fast cash, right? So second week, we talked about we talked about e-com, right? And then third week, what was last week? Affiliate, yeah, affiliate marketing. And then today, fourth week, you now have product launch sequence. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys are aware or self-aware right now, but ang dami niyo nang alam. Alam niyo ba 'yun? Ang dami niyo nang alam. Alam niyo na yung fast cash, alam niyo na yung e-com. Sa e-com pa lang ang dami ng sequence doon. Yung fast cash pwede niyong gawin ng iba-ibang ways. Alam niyo affiliate marketing, and today you're gonna learn about product launch sequence. So I hope nare-realize niyo kung gaano na kayo kadaming alam. Right? Hindi yung marami kang alam sa masamang paraan. Like, it in a good way, marami na kayong alam. So by this time, siguro naman, if we have itong yung fast cash, yung e-com, yung affiliate, and then product launch sequence under your belt, siguro naman hindi ka na mahihiya na mag-approach sa client. Okay? So yun lang naman. You want to give you as many ammunitions as possible. So that when you reach out, hindi ka magmumukhang poser or magmumukhang baguhan. Right? Kasi you can always go back to your resources, grab the templates, and then use it. Right? So yeah. Now, first, product launch sequence. Now, I want to ask you guys, familiar ba kayo sa product launch sequence? Are you guys familiar? No? Kate says no, Aya says no, April no, Diane no. Aba, puro no. And Mia, Leia, Dennis, sorta. All right. All right. So here's the thing. Right? Sabi ni Ellen, interesting. I can imagine you bro habang umahawa ka sa baba mo. Sinasabi mo, interesting. And now the reason why I asked is if you enrolled in this program, all of you literally went through the product launch sequence. All of you guys went through the product launch sequence. So for you to say na hindi kayo familiar doon sa product launch sequence, medyo, ano mo yun, medyo hindi ako naniniwala. Hindi, joke lang. Yeah. I probably, you probably saw what we did, but hindi nyo lang alam na product launch sequence siya. Alright? So basically, product launch sequence is usually done. Makita mo yung mga gurus, they usually launch a product, and what they do is, alam mo yun, padadala ka nila ng sunod-sunod na emails and stuff, usually 2 weeks, 1 week to 2 weeks. And then, charan, minsan gumagawa sila. Kaya minsan yung mga guru sinasabi, we just made 3 million in sales in 1 week. Or mga product launch yan. Alright? Now, I'm not talking about just info products. Pwedeng gamit din to, pwedeng kahit ano. Right? But literally, when you're launching a product, this is the sequence that you're gonna use para you make it a big event. Parang when, it's like when Marvel, okay, sino dito di fan ng Marvel? Baka magalit sa akin. Yung yeah, Marvel, when they wanna, diba, nung papalabas yung Avengers, diba? Hindi naman yun, charan Avengers. Hindi siya ganun eh. If you notice, they let out these little um, video teasers, diba? Yung paunti-unti video teasers, and tapos hanggang sa na-hype ka na, that by the time na nilabas yung Avengers, wala ka ng choice kundi bibilin mo lang yung ticket. Parang ganun. So, yun yung ginagawa nila. In fact, one can argue na yung Avengers 1, 2, and 3, parang ganun. Diba yung ano lang siya eh, parang prerequisite lang siya para sa pinakamalaking launch. And, di ba, pakita niya naman that it's one of the highest grossing films uh, of all time. So, ayun. So, that's what they did. Parang yung mga first movies, parang, ano yun eh, parang patikim. First movies. Although it's a movie already, parang patikim pa lang siya. Pero yung grand finale talaga siya yung lagi nasa uli. Same thing with your product launch sequence. And so, before we start, I just wanna bring you back down to earth, and I'm gonna ask you, does this look familiar? Yes. Off market, offer, and then copy. Yes, tama sa end. Right? So, babalik lang tayo dito because again, when I talk about this, ang magiging isipin ng iba, is parang pag product launch sequence, parang, di ba nakita niyo naman, dumaan kayo sa sequence namin ni Alan, like, it's supposed to be copy-centric. Okay? Same thing. Yung sa sale, ganun pa rin. Yung copy is only 10%. It doesn't matter what kind of sequence you're creating, copy is only 10%. Yung market and yung offer still is the biggest chunk of what's gonna make uh, the sale. And in fact, ito, the reason why I want you guys to focus on this is I want you to check this out. Do you guys see it? Yeah. So this is from one of my clients, and over the top excited about having my biggest enrollment ever. And biggest enrollment ever. And we're still not done. That's the power that what I'm gonna teach you have. Like tipong yung previous launch nila, mas malaki lagi. Mas nahihigatan pa when you do this. All right? Mas nahihigatan pa when you do this. And this one as well. Ito, yeah, best ever. Yeah, meaning, mas malaki pa yung launch dito kaysa sa previous nila. And this one, we already exceeded the previous launch. Meron pa kami natitirang 6 emails. So, ibig sabihin, wala pa kami sa kalahati, literally. We already exceeded the previous launch of the same program. Okay, so the reason why I'm showing you this is para tanungin kayo, ano sa tingin nyo yung pinagkaiba nung ginawa ko sa ginawa ng ibang copywriters na? Can you guys give me a, like, what do you think is the main difference between, because they all hired copywriters before. But for us to exceed their launches na hindi pa tapos, what did we do? What did we do differently? Nikki says, targeted their pain point. Donald says more spot on market. Audrey says more on copy. George says minatch yung audience offer and copy. I says right market na target. Darius says market research. People says hammering the pain points. Jay, focus market. Right. Okay, so sa mga sumagot, so basically, you guys are already there, kind of there. But basically, what we did was we literally just, kasi di ba may market na sila. They already have the market. Okay, so what I did was find out exactly what the market wants and created the right offer, or at least position the offer properly so that they would buy it. So yung copy, hindi na siya masyadong hindi na siya masyadong inintindi masyado. Because once I have the right offer in front of the right market, diba, that's already 90% of the battle right there. And the reason why, again, the reason I'm telling you this, why I showed you those screenshots, is I don't want you guys to be like those other copywriters wherein they think that their copy can save the product. Hindi ganun yun eh. It never happens that way. A copy can never save a product. Right? Hindi niya kayang isalba mag-isa. If you want this to work, right? Again, I'm focusing on this kasi ito yung pinaka-importante, and I don't want you to get lost. Iniisip mo yung copy yung ano. Okay? I don't want you to get lost. Again, right offer in front of the right market. Are we clear, guys? Are we clear? All right. Okay. Okay. And the reason why that I'm all clear, because when you get this right, okay, the reason why I'm asking this is when you get this right, here's what happens. That is what happens. This is one of the most profitable specialties you can ever possess as an email copywriter. Because not only does it allow you to create money on demand for clients' products, diba? Granted, of course, you do it right, diba? So it also allows you to get checks like this. Yun eh. Like you could literally make someone 100, 600K in 5 days, and you get 10,000 to 20,000 in your bank. That's why I want you guys to get this right. Hindi yung paaso-aso lang na copywriter na focusing on tactics and what words to use. Hindi yun eh. All right? So, let me ask you again. Are you guys ready? Wala, si Audrey lang ready. Si Kate lang pala. Tingin mo, Alan, parang di naman sila. We have like, ilan ba nandito sa call na to? I have 87. Wala pang 20 nagre-review. Ayaw, pre. Guys, this might be another 2 to 3 hour calls. The least you could do is kausapin ako dito habang nagsasalita ako mag-isa. Right? Hindi, wag niyo ako tutulad sa ibang nag-webinar na walang pakialam. Ano ba yan? Huwag naman magsando. Okay na yung ready. Okay, game. Maganda yung ano, maganda yung malinaw. O sabihin eh, eh, yeah, right. So the first thing we need to do is find out exactly, di ba? Market offer. So the first thing we need to do is to find out exactly what their pain, struggles, and challenges are. And by far, and I'm speaking from experience here, by far, the most effective way for me to personally do that is actually do a survey. And now, some of you here are already familiar with this, and I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna take credit for it. I've learned this by working with Ryan Levesque, one of my clients. Which he also learned from Glenn Livingston, right? It's called the deep dive survey. Okay, it's called a deep dive survey, and instead doing tons of research, which I was doing before when I was starting out, okay, or what most copywriters would do, the easiest way really is just to ask them. Yun lang yun eh. The easiest way is just to ask them, right? So, and the reason why you want to do a survey, right? The reason why you want to do a survey, yes, DDS, deep dive survey, right? Mickey, yung SMIQ, mamaya, right? Andito si Jeff. Si Jeff, by the way, si Jeff Bacolod, he also works with Ryan Levesque, just in case you don't know. And so anyway, so aside from the reason why it's important is aside from developing real, authentic empathy, which I'm going to show you later on, and the other upside of doing this is once you have all the responses, right? Once you have all the responses, you literally have all the content you need to write an email. So basically, it would be as easy for you as copy and paste. That's what this is. Now, the other biggest benefit is that you can now pick your product, your sales page, your whole offer based on what they're telling you and not based on guesswork. And this is where most copywriters fail. Okay? Yung ibang mga nagagaling-galingan na copywriter, they fail on this because they're just guessing. They actually don't know what makes their audiences stick or buy. They're just guessing. Akala nila the more awesome the email, the more people buy. No, it doesn't work that way, right? Because the more you know who you're talking to, the easier it is to write for them, and and of course, the easier it is for you to write for them, the more you target their pain points, the more that you're able to get them to buy. Now, I'm gonna warn you, this isn't just your ordinary kind of survey. Instead of asking them what they want, right? We're gonna ask them what they don't want. Did you guys get that? Since not everyone is familiar with this, I want you guys to be able to get that part. Instead of asking them what they want, we're going to ask them what they don't want. Apat lang hagets? Guys, sagot. And I'm not trying to get yeses just for you to, for you to guys to participate. I really want you to get this. Because yung mga template na ibibigay namin sa inyo, hindi siya, hindi siya gagana pag hindi nyo ito nakuha. Okay, ask them what they don't want. And the reason for that, diba? The reason for that is simple. Okay? The reason for that is simple. Humans can only we as humans can accurately tell someone what we don't want and something that we've experienced in the past. Yun lang. Those are the only two things that we could only tell, we can tell accurately. But if you ask someone what they want, it's not gonna end up well for you, right? And let me give you a concrete example of this. If I ask you right now, anong gusto mong kainin? Diba? A good example of that is magkatropa kayo, tapos lalabas kayo. Tapos magtatanungan kayo, saan nyo gusto kumain? Diba? Ang sagot, kahit saan. Gusto ko sa ganyan. Gusto ko. At saka yung before umabot pa sa kahit saan, ang mangyayari nun is magtuturoan pa. Ikaw bahala, di ba? Okay. Wala. Pero tanungin mo sila, saan nyo ayaw kumain? Ako, pag tinanong mo ko saan mo ayaw kumain, ayaw ko sa mga inasal. May bad experience ako doon. Okay? Ayaw ko sa mga inasal, may bad experience ako doon. Dati nasasarapan ako sa kanya, pero nung bad experience, ayaw ko na sa kanya. So, tanungin mo ako saan ko gusto, sabihin ko sa'yo, bahala ka. Tanungin mo ako kung saan ano ang ayaw ko. Sabihin ko sa'yo, mga inasal, straight up. Ayan. Di ba? Yan, Audrey, ayaw ko sa mahal. And now I know exactly where to take you. Makdo. Pag nagreklamo ka, sabihin ko, sabi mo ayaw mo sa mahal. Kaya turo-turo. Diba? But like I said, the only thing that we can accurately tell people is things that we don't want and things that we have experienced in the past. And the two questions that we usually ask, right? The two questions that we usually ask to get exactly what the market wants, all right, is this one. This is we call the SMIQ, right? Now, SMIQ is yung sasabi niyan, the single most important question. Okay? Makalimutan mo na yung ibang tatanong mo, wag lang to. Now, the format is this, like, what's your single biggest challenge when it comes to blank? Or when it comes to blank, what's your number one single biggest challenge? Pwede mo namang ipagpalitan. Like, let me give you an example of this, right? If I'm talking about writing email copy, then I could ask, when it comes to writing email copy that sells, what's your number one single biggest challenge? Yun tanong. Or if I'm talking to business owners that have problems with getting leads, yun ang problema ng mga business owners, then I could ask, what's your single biggest challenge when it comes to getting leads for your business? Okay, so all you have to do to I'm just making this simple, right? There's a ton of, there's a ton of nuance that goes into this, but I'm just making it simple for now, guys, because that's already enough for you to get the pain point, right? All you have to do is insert the problem that you're trying to solve and connect it to this. When it comes to insert the problem you're trying to solve, right? When it comes to making an ad profitable, what's your number one single biggest challenge? Yeah, right? So that's the first question. Second question is this: why would it be helpful, to you, for you to solve this problem? Please be specific and let me know how your life could be different solving this problem. Now, for those who are in my newsletter, you probably medyo naaalala nyo malamang itong dalawang tanong na to. Nasa newsletter ko. It's the very first email that you received from me. PS, will you let me know? Reply to this email. Ito yung tinatanong ko itong dalawang to. And, diba? And that's the reason. And the reason why I'm doing that, si Roxy, sinagot ako, yeah, the reason why I'm doing that is I'm basically collecting all your responses para may pangsulat ako ng email kinabukasan. So it's almost impossible really for me to run out of topics since every time na may mag-opt-in sa akin, sinasagutan nila itong tanong na to one way or the other. So all I need to do is mamaya papakita ko sa inyo is get all the responses from that and then I make an email. Ayan. So now before I go with the template, right? Before I go with the template, basically the template right here is just a template of the email that you will send if you want to, how do I say this? If you want to send an email, let's see if mapa open ko siya. Okay, so let me guys know if you see it. Just a quick yes we do, man. And kita. And all right. So ayan. So here's an email, sample email number one. Halimbawa, ito ano lang naman to. Like for example, you got a client and he hasn't contacted his list for a while. You're also gonna receive this, by the way, so di mo na kailangan yan. Di natin kailangan puntahan yun. What I'm going to show you is this. Uh, email sample number 2. And so, John, I need your help. When you first joined White, I promised would leave no stone unturned in finding curated emails. And I want to make sure I keep that promise. And I'm serious about helping you make 2016, 2016 pa pala tong template your best year ever. And that means knowing more about you so I can truly serve you, which is why I need your help. If you could take 60 seconds and tell me your biggest challenge, the biggest challenge you're struggling with when it comes to getting leads for your business, I promise to make sure what I send you over the next couple of emails is going to help you fill your pipeline with more leads you could ever ask for the next 14 days. Click here to tell me more about your situation. Yeah. P.S. It'll only take you a minute to give your thoughts. Plus, I'll show you something interesting, more like a gift just for helping me out. Yeah. So, was that clear, guys? Nakita nyo ba? Yeah. Yeah. So basically, that's a simple template that we use to ask these questions, right? So before you even write a single launch email, okay, before you even write a single launch email, that's the thing that you do. You want to get all those responses so that ano ka, so that you are kumbaga may bala ka when it comes to launching your emails. Okay. So once you have those responses, so let's just assume na um, your client hasn't launched before, and this is the first time, diba? This is the first time that they're gonna launch. So here's a simple email that you can send, right? So, and your advice, please. Hey, John, blank. I hope everything is going well. Been talking to my staff and discussing new things we can do for you this year. They told me about some touching calls they've been getting lately, most from professional women that have great friends, successful career, and yet there's one thing missing in their life, and it's frustrating. They want to find a good man who's open to getting married and even starting a family. Now, I'm hearing the same thing from more of my clients, and I'm hearing it a lot more often. So this has got me thinking, and where I could use your advice. If I created a paid support program for professional single women that are tired of casual dating and ready to get married, would this be something you'd be interested in? I don't want to, I don't want to build something and then find out nobody wants it. So what do you think? Should I build it? Talk soon, John. Okay. So guys, in the comments, let me know what is it exactly that we're doing here. What is it exactly that we're doing here? Anyone? Asking advice? Right. Mm-hmm. Getting feedback. Okay. Right. So, guys, ito I even mentioned this on the post, right? This is you literally checking for demand. You're validating a product before you even sell it. Importante to. Kasi again, you don't want to sell to the wrong market. So kung walang nag-reply dito, and at least nag-guess man lang, di ba? May problema yon. May problema yon. So there's a good chance na hindi mag-work yung product launch mo kahit gaano ka pagaling magsulat. Right? Again, this is if they haven't launched before, meaning hindi pa nabibili yung product na gusto nilang i-offer. Remember the criteria that we have for looking for clients? Who remembers that? Yan na. Taguan na. Hindi na maalala yung criteria because of looking for clients. And, Rhea, sige. Ano yung mga criteria when it comes to looking for clients? Uh, great amount of list, right? Already has a list. They know who they serve, all right? Yun, nadalin na yan. Already has a product that sells well. Exactly. If they already have a product that sells well, guys, listen to this. Like, really listen to this. Kasi ito yung pinaka-importante dito sa simula. That's why I'm putting this at the beginning para maalala nyo. Okay? They need to have a proven product. Now, yung survey na nilabas ko dito, usually ginagawa lang namin yan if nag-launch sila ng product dati. Diba? Nag-launch sila ng product dati, hindi masyadong mamenta and I want to improve it, I put out a survey kagad. Right? To make sure na, alam ko naman na may bumili, so it works. So, ang gagawin ko na lang is to find out exactly how to craft a better offer. Kaya ako kailangan ng survey. Now, this one, usually, ginagawa ko to kapag hindi pa proven yung product. Like if they haven't launched a single thing just yet. Now, here's the thing. You don't need to write a full email for this. Ito, sino to? Sino tong gagawin to na nagva-validate ng product? Kilala niyo ba itong si Raul na nagva-validate ng product? Yan, yung nakasando last week. Gago talaga yun. Music. And so, if you notice here, ito yung pinaka-first product na nilaunch ko dito sa atin, sa Pinas. And it says here, PS, I'm getting a whole lot of press on the exact script that I used to do sales calls to acquire premium plans and how I structure simple 3-page proposals for 2K up to 10K projects. Good news is, I may just give you a chance to grab them. Bad news, it's not going to be free. Like, remember, ito nakalagay dito, di ba? If I created a paid support program, ito naman, it's not going to be free. Why? Because people don't value free. And if you're so interested in letting them, getting them even with the price tag, let me know by replying to this email. If I get at least 50 people wanting it, I may just make it available. So, here's the thing. Nung naka-receive ako ng 50 replies, actually, I received like more than 50 actually, replies. I received more than 50 replies. Nung nilaunch ko yung product, wala nang masyadong tanong-tanong. Because people already want it. Ito na siya, like, I already outlined the offer here. Okay, same thing with this. So, dyan mo malalaman as an email copywriter, if nag-aalangan ka to sell the product, this is highly valuable right here. Okay, huwag niyo kakalimutan yun, ha. Baka mamaya di ba, baka feeling natin, pag may template na tayo, and like, kayang-kaya na to magbenta, like hindi. Okay, ito yung pinaka-importante. If you don't get much traction on this, there's a good chance na wala talagang bibili. Right? So yan. Are we clear, guys, on that in that regard? Baka kasi okay. As clear as the less of the cipher. Alright. Yeah. So, ang makaka-relate lang dito sa email na to is yung mga members ng SPAG before. So, hindi ko alam kung nandito si Carlo. Basta sila yung mga nakita niyang email na yan. Yan. Anyway, so there. So, once you have, sabihin natin, nakakuha ka na ng mga responses, either dito sa survey or dito. So, once you have the responses na, okay, the next process is actually mining the data. Yan. You've sent the survey email, diba? Ayan, si Neri, nakita niya yung email na yan. Yan. Yun ang nakapagpabili kay Neri. Yan. So mining the data is next. I think sa mga susunod na pinaka-importante, right? If I'm really honest, this would be very useful to you as you write your emails. So I want you guys to check this out. Clear ba yung text? Paano ba ito pinalakihan? 125. Oops, sumabra. Yan. Malaki na ba? Hindi pa rin. Lalakihan pa ba natin to? Baka sumabra na sa laki. natin. Yan. Guys, let me know if pwede na. So, hindi ako nanguhula ng size. O, mamaya, sobrang laki na nito. Okay. Dara says carry bells na. Yan. If carry bells na para kay doon, okay na para sa akin. Eh. Carry bells na rin to. Carry boom boom na this. Yan. So, ayun. So, I want you guys to check this out. Does the reply sound familiar? Does the words on the screen sound familiar to you? Or look familiar? Malamang yung isa sa mga nandito nag-a-attend, nag-slot dyan malamang. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember when we asked you your biggest challenge? Sino dito nakakaalala na we asked you about your biggest challenge? Ay, si Ro. Yan. Hindi ko maalap yung syempre, nasa baba eh. Yan. Ayan. So if you did answer that, diba? So if you did answer that, okay, malamang nandito siya. And I think the main reason why I like doing this is because it makes our job as copywriters easier. Okay, so eto, let me give you a quick glimpse on how how important this is, right? So remember, we asked you, what's your number one single biggest challenge when it comes to blank, right? Now, here's the thing. Just because something, for example, lahat sila nagsabi, getting clients, getting clients, getting clients, getting clients, getting clients, getting clients. Just because sinabi nilang lahat ng problems sila is getting clients, it doesn't mean na yun ang gusto nila. Did you guys hear that? Okay. Just because they said something too many times, it doesn't mean na yun na yung gusto nila. Or yun na yung challenge nila. Okay? I want you guys to listen kasi medyo, hindi naman complicated, but medyo ano lang to. It can get a bit technical at this part. Right? Unahin ko, sabihin ko ulit, just because they said something too many times, it doesn't mean na yun na yung challenge nila, yun na yung gusto nila, yun na yung gusto nila mangyari. Okay? Guys, saka nyo naintindihin yung hyperscore, but I want you guys to listen in right now muna. Kasi darating tayo sa hyperscore. Okay, listen in muna. Gets nyo na. Like, as hindi, it doesn't mean, pag inulit ng inulit, like for example, 100 yung sinurvey ko, 50 nagsabi, my problem is getting clients, period. It doesn't mean na ang problema nila is getting clients. Okay? What we're looking for is yung hyper-responsive na audience mo. Alright? That's what we're looking for, yung hyper-responsive. And people who have the problem, okay, pag tinanong mo sila when it comes to blank, what's your number one single biggest challenge? They're the ones, yung mga nagsusulat ng maalaala mo kaya. Kasi malaki yung problema nila eh. Alam mo yun, yung di ba, kapag may problema ka, naghahanap ka ng lalabasan ng sama ng loob. Di ba? So, the ones that you're gonna follow, okay? The ones that you're gonna follow are the ones who yung mga pangmalaala mo kaya ang ang response. And yung hyperscore, technically, that's just the length of the characters ng response nila. So the longer the length, the hyper the audience. Okay? The hyper that specific the specific person is. Kailangan ko bang ulitin o nagets na guys? Guys, give me a quick yes. Right now we're at 98. Okay lang. Kasi di ko na siya. Guys, pag hindi mo talaga nagets, di mo kailangan magkunyari na gets mo. Ayan. Puti pa si Jan. Again, please. Right. Ulitin ko lang. Okay, ulitin ko lang. Just because someone, di ba? Just because your market repeats the same challenges over and over again, it doesn't mean na yun na yung problema nila. Okay? Yun yung mali sa mga normal na surveys. Kasi di ba, pag sinabing, anong blah blah blah, anong problem mo? Pag sinabing, ito yung problem, yun na yun. we go with the majority. Pero hindi yun yun. Di ba? Hindi yun yun. The fact that they can't even, di ba? They didn't even take the time to answer your question. They're not your hyper, they're not your hyper responses. Okay? So, Jan says here, so you need to probe more in that. I don't even need to probe more. You don't even need to probe more because people who have the problem, people who are hurt, would answer your questions ng mahaba. They're the ones, they're the ones who would buy your product. Okay? Sila yung, they're, right now, they're hurt. Kailangan nilang paglalasbasan ng sama ng loob. They're your hyper responses. And yung hyper score is literally just counting the number of characters. So itong first response dito, 872 characters. All right? Okay. So, once you, di ba, nandiyan na yung responses, kinount na yung characters. So all we do is arrange the responses based from the highest character to the lowest. Sort out sa spreadsheet. And so, ito pa. Okay, I don't want to get too technical on this. Okay, so once we sorted it out, nasa taas na yung pinakamadrama, nasa baba yung walang pakialam. Ayan. So, for example, we surveyed like 250 or 300. Ayan. Okay, we're only getting the top 20%. You're only getting the top 20%. Kasi in any market, yung 20% mo, that's what's gonna drive 80% of your revenue. Alright? So there's a good chance na yung 20% mo na nag-respond sa'yo, hindi mo na kailangan aralin lahat ng nag-respond. Kunin mo lang yung top 20 and get exactly ano-ano ba yung mga theme ng mga reklamo nila. Yun yung mangyayari doon. Kunin mo lang yung theme ng mga reklamo nila. And then, gagawa ka ng sarili mo. Lista, ano kayo to? Problem niya, time. Ito naman problem niya, getting clients. Ito, problem niya, getting kung ano man. So, kunin mo lang yung top 20%. So, yung Pareto principle, Jan, it's a principle na yung, I forgot yung talagang meaning. Kasi para siya, pagtatanim siya ng garden, parang gano'n. Like 80%, like yung 20% ng tanim niya, that's what produces 80% of the yield. Parang gano'n. And it applies to almost everything in life. Like for example, sa Facebook group. If I have around 100 people inside the Facebook group, ang ina-expect ko lang na magre-respond kapag nag-post ako is 20. So kung magpapa-comment ako, sasabihin ko lang, I need 20 comments. Kasi anything over than that, lagpas siya sa Pareto principle eh. I'm putting myself na mapapahiya na ako sa 30 comments na yan. Right? Okay. So medyo napalalim tayo sa Pareto principle. But guys, ulitin ko, are we clear with this? Kasi this is where everything hinges. Hindi ako nag-iinarte o ano man. Importante talaga to. Utang na loob. Right? Kung ayaw nyo maging ordinaryong copywriter na sumusulat na walang napapala, then you're gonna have to make sure that you've gotten this. Okay lang audio kung delayed. Basta may sumasagot. Kasi kasi mamaya gets na, yes, got it, clear po. Tapos di naman niya na-gets. Okay, we're not, guys, kung ganito ako, it's just that we don't want to teach just for the sake of teaching it. Gusto namin nakukuha nyo. Diba? We could have just gone through this and just blaze through it para matapos na itong araw na to. But I want you guys to get it. Okay. Now, since gets na yan, right? Like I said, the main reason why I like doing this is because it makes my job easier. Here's a good example of this in action, right? So, ayan. So, here's an example of someone who parang tanong siya, paano ka ba gumawa ng emails? And I said, like, natatandaan ko pa yung unang email ko, so nas nakapasok ka sa list. Sabi niya, search ko maraming emails yun. Sabi ko, basta may tanong ako doon, nilagay ko yun lahat sa spreadsheet. Doon ako kumukuha ng copy paste. Sabi niya, then turn them into emails. Saan ba? Sabi ko, yep. Sabi niya, yun yung gusto ko malaman. So, I did an impromptu sample. So, ayan. Sabi ko, geto bro, sagutin mo tanong ko. Game. When it comes to writing customer pull and client getting emails, what's your number one single biggest challenge? Be as detailed as possible. Do you guys recognize that question? Ano yan? Ano siya? SMIQ, di ba? Okay, so SMIQ. Now, sabi niya, I don't know how to write catchy subject line, having difficulties finding the right content. Sometimes I don't have an idea what to write or how to start a whole email marketing campaign. Yun yung response niya. Okay, so, gumawa ako ng email. Aldrin, i-replay mo na lang mamaya kasi medyo, basta SMIQ is this question right here. When it comes to writing customer pulling client getting emails, what's your number one single biggest challenge? Okay, that's your single most important question, SMIQ. Right? So, ito yung response niya, gumawa ako ng email. And I put specific arrows on it on kung aling part ng sagot niya ginamit ko sa email. Can you guys see it? Yeah. Now, I hope you guys realize exactly what I'm doing sa mga emails ko. Na-realize na ba kayo? Kung bakit, sapul to, ganun. O, grabe, ano, grabe parang ako lang to. Ganun. Kaya minsan natatawa ako pag nangingiti ako kapag may nagre-reply sa akin ng ganun. Kasi most of the time, like last time, yung I just lost a client. Tapos sabi niya, parang solid daw, tinamaan daw siya doon. Eh actually, siya yung babae doon siya si Petra eh. Nag-reply siya sa akin. Tama daw yung, siya nga yun eh. Ginamit yung usapan namin. So, that's, yun yung sikreto doon. We're not, if you think Alan and I are coming out with words out of our asses, that's not, hindi yun eh. Kaya di ba, kaya nga, ramdam mo, parang minsan nagsasabi kayo, ramdam kasi namin yung ramdam kasi namin uh, yung sinasabi nyo kasi ganyan, kasi ganyan. Sometimes we feel guilty. We feel guilty na, di ba, we're basically mirroring back the words that you're trying to say to us. That's what we're doing. Okay? So if you, di ba, isipin mo na lang. Right now, I have more than, ilang bang response nito ko? Like more than 1,000 na yata na ganito. Sa tingin mo, paano ako mauubusan ng emails na isusulat? Pwede lang akong, pag nawalan ako ng idea, pwede akong mag-ini-mini-mini mo. Tapos, yep, ito na, yun na yun. So, yun na yung susulat ko for the day. Parang ganun. Okay? So, you won't easily run out of email topics to write about. Okay? Kita mo naman, di ba? Ang ikli pa nga lang ng sagot niya dyan. And we're able to do this half an email. Kahit nga sabihin na natin eh. Now, before you start planning out your next email marketing campaign, click here and watch this video. Ang tanong, sa tingin mo, hindi niya i-click yun? Sinabi ko lahat ng problema niya. Kahit gano'n pa kaikli yung email mo, kahit hindi siya ganun kabongga, i-click niya yung link na yun eh. You should literally just word for word read his mind. Yeah. Anyway, I hope this is making sense, guys. Di ba? Kasi baka mamaya, di ba, kanina pinipilit ko kayo na mag-respond na makinig doon sa mga unang parts. It's because of this. Okay? I want you guys to be able to recreate this magic in your own emails. Okay? Hindi siya, wala kami may tuturo ni Ana sa ng magical mga words to write. Hindi yun. It's all about your audience. It's all about the market. It's all about the offer. Yung copy, secondary lang yan. And I hope that by seeing this, it's making sense right now. And, and I just wanna make sure, okay? Yun lang. Ayoko magsayang ng oras dito and for you guys not to get the biggest lesson out of all. And, all right? So, now that you know, now that you know how easy it is to actually write the hard parts, actually ito yung mga hard parts eh. Diba? Anong gagamitin mong words? Ito na yun eh. Now that you know how to write the hard parts of the email, the part that makes people say, like it's like you're reading my mind. Ako to, sapul. Yan. Now it's time, okay? Now it's time to go to the 11 puzzle pieces your product launch sequence needs to convert a prospect into a buyer. Yeah. So why 11 and why puzzle pieces? Pala. And yeah, intro pa lang yun, bro. And yung intro yung pinaka-importante. Yun yung pinaka-importante. 11 puzzle pieces, wala. Pwede mo siyang laro-laruin eh. Basta alam mo na yung part do sa intro. Right? So, ayan. So, 11 puzzle pieces. Now, why puzzle pieces? Now, imagine this. I want you guys, whenever you have a launch campaign, I want you guys to imagine this. Okay? The one on the left, yung mama doon, the one on the left, yung mama doon with the shark-infested waters. You want them to cross over to the safe island na walang sharks. Okay? And the problem is, yung bridge papunta doon, imagine it like puzzle pieces. Right? Imagine it like puzzle pieces. Ang problema is, if one of those puzzle pieces are missing, or two or three are missing, guess what? Habang tumatawid yung isa papunta doon sa kabila, mag-aalangan siya kasi may puwang eh. Di ba? Either tatalon siya ng either they're gonna take a leap of faith, or di lang sila tatalon, babalik sila sa isla. That's why it's 11 puzzle pieces. Kasi you want those 11 puzzle pieces to be present in your launch campaign. Okay ba guys? Yun lang naman. I want you guys to think of it as a puzzle piece. Na tipong kapag wala yung isa, hindi makakatawid yung mama na yun papunta dun sa, ano ba yan, Hawaii ba yan? Ayan. That's what I want you guys to think about when writing your, yeah. Okay. So here we go. So the first one, ready? Si Aya intro pa lang sabog na daw. Grabe naman. Yan. So, ready? Ready na. Ako, ante. Jingle break ba? Yeah, sino gusto mag-break muna? Like jingle lang. Baka mamaya marami nang hindi lang makaalis. Ayan, sige. Coffee break. Anong oras na? 8:59? Balik ng 9. Right? Ayan, dali lang. Yan. Nakabalik na ba? Sigurado ko lang kasi baka mamaya magmadali sila ng ano eh. Magmadali sila ng balik maihian yung short. Ayan, yung mga tulo-tulo pa yung kamay, tapos magta-type sa keyboard. Ew! Diri. Okay. Okay, ready? Nandiyan tayo guys ha. Ready na. 9:01 na. So, let's get it on. Right. Right. So the first puzzle piece is this one. It's the opportunity. Now, actually, inad ko lang to dito like recently. Okay, inad ko lang to dito recently. Kasi yung 7 puzzle pieces before, I think it was 7 or 8. That was 2016 pa. Yan. So, now, I made sure na andito yung opportunity. And when I say opportunity, the opportunity looks like this. Yan. Now, guys, what do you notice with this email? What do you notice with this email? Aside sa mahaba, yapit sa welcome email, then it just looks family. Yep. Yan yung na-receive nyo actually. Yan yung na-receive nyo nung napasok kayo sa email list. Yan. Now, if you notice, di ba? If you notice, meron ditong click this link and take a quick second to answer these 2 simple but important questions. Ano sa tingin niyo yung link na yan? Ano yung link na yan? Right, tama. SMIQ. Right? SMIQ. So guys, kung ano man yung pinag-usapan natin kanina, pinagdaanan yun. Alright? Meron kaming 309 responses out of 600 people. So, ayun. Pinagdaanan nyo yan. Now, what I want you guys to put your attention is this one. Because if you can at least write basic English at 6th grade level, up until yan, we're gonna show you how to turn that elementary skill into writing emails that gets paid $100, $350, $500 a pop. How to land clients who happily pay and retain you to write these simple emails for them at $2,000 to $3,500 a month, and how we use the same skill for our own businesses to get 100K to 500K in sales whenever we hit send. Yeah, I want you guys to take a look at that part because that's the part where we're showing you the opportunity. Okay? Sa tingin nyo guys, ito lang bakit namin kailangan ipakita yung opportunity? Numbers? What about numbers, Jan? Why do you guys think we need to show you the opportunity? Para magyabang? Okay. Para bumula, huwag naman bumula yung bibig. Dayan, walang bias yung hindi pa kayo bumibili nitong time na to. Unang email pa lang namin to. Okay. Right. So here's the galing ng mga nag-ano, right. So here's the thing, right? The reason why we're showing you the opportunity, okay, we're showing you the opportunity is may dalawa kasing types na actually there are 5 levels of awareness, right? Sino may alam dito ng 5 levels of awareness? Yung mga copywriters dito, alam niyo yan? 5 levels of awareness. And 4 lang ba yun? And basta anyway. Now, whenever you're doing a launch, okay, ito guys, I remember this, whenever you're doing a launch, usually you're talking to people who are, kapag mga ano to kapag hindi pa niya buyers to you're talking to people who are unaware, problem aware, and then product aware. Okay? Unaware, problem aware, product aware. Okay. And the reason why we're starting with the opportunity, kasi if we start with telling you about the problem, okay, by the way, just a bit of a context, yung unaware, they're unaware they have a problem. They are unaware na meron kang product. Yun yun. They're unaware that they have a problem. They're unaware that there's a product out there that will solve the problem. Kaya sila unaware. Yung problem aware naman, they're not aware that there's a product out there, but they are aware of that meron silang problema. Yung product aware naman, aware sila na may problema sila and aware sila sa product. Now, ito yung mangyayari doon. Usually, kapag hindi pa sila buyers, they fall on those three categories, right? And if you start with the product right away, sino lang yung ma-attract mong audience? Sige ako nakinig. Sino lang yung ma-attract mong audience? Okay, first honor si Roxy, product aware. Right, if you start with a product, ma-attract mo lang yung mga product aware. Now, what if I start with a problem? Sino yung mga ma-attract mo nun? What if I start with a problem? Sino ma-attract ko nun? Okay, you're gonna attract two people. You're gonna attract problem and product aware. So, kawawa naman yung unaware. Nagets nyo ba, guys? Kung bakit tayo nagsisimula sa opportunity? Kung bakit yung mga gurus, kailangan nilang magyabang. Okay? Kahit ayaw nila, kailangan nilang magyabang. And it's to get people who are unaware. Kasi di nila alam na may problema sila. Paano sila lalapit sa'yo? Diba? So if you see that marketing tactic out there, mga Tay Lopez ang dating. Diba? Mga Tay Lopez ang dating. Feeling mo, oh, flashy cars. Tapos mga ano. Yeah, I get na medyo sleazy yung dating. Diba? I get the sleazy yung dating. But marketing-wise, he's doing it really well. He's doing it really well. In fact, kung magma-market kayo, di ba? When it comes to getting attention, solid hanga ako sa mga nagne-networking. Solid yan. They know how to get your attention. Kasi diba, yung mga nagne-networking before, diba? Like before ka masumali doon, you're not even aware that you need the product. Diba? You're not even aware you have a problem when it comes to earning income. So unaware ka. Pero they showed you the cars, they showed you the house, they showed you the checks. Now you're open. Diba? Now they got your attention. So the same thing we're doing here. And in fact, kung hindi namin ginawa to, malamang 90 plus lang tayo dito. Diba? Kailan niyo ba si Tay Lopez? Here in my garage. Yeah. But you know what's most important? Knowledge. Yeah. No, but that's the thing. Isipin nyo. Kasi ito lang just a bit of a side trivia. When we did the survey, you know what we found? When we did the survey, what we found was over 50%, okay? Over 50% ng mga nag-opt-in sa list are unaware. They don't even know that what email marketing is. Okay, so sa 600 na yon, 300 are unaware about email marketing, what is it, and all that. Diba? So imagine if we didn't do this, we're not able to get their attention. Yun lang yun. So that's what attention is. That's what opportunity is. Okay, it's to get the attention of those who are unaware. Okay, so that's the first puzzle piece. Okay, so are we clear with the first puzzle piece, guys? Guys, just hit me with yeses kung gets. And if you're wondering, may template ba tayo and all that? Yes, I will give you the template. Pero pag sa assignment na, right? Yan, tulad ni Aya, isa sa mga unaware. Diba? Isipin mo, si Aya nakapagsulat na ng email and all that, nakakapag-connect na. And it all started dahil dito sa email na to. Di ba? Isipin mo kung di niya na, if we didn't make her like look at the opportunity, hindi wala sana siya dito. Ayun. Okay. Guys, I hope you're realizing how powerful this is. Yung mga, it's slightly parang wala lang, but it's actually more than that. Okay. Hindi kasi naiintindihan ng ibang copywriters to. Sulat na sila ng sulat. Ayan. Okay. So that's the first thing. You have to get their attention. Right? So once nakuha mo na yung attention nila, the next puzzle piece is the problem. Right? Now, here's what's wrong with most copywriters. Okay? What's wrong with most copywriters is they focus on features and benefits. Now, in this call, sino yung familiar with features and benefits? Yan. Yung mga familiar ng features and benefits, naks. Yan. Okay. So, lahat na kayo familiar pala. Yeah. Feature, style, benefits, hindi rin. I'm gonna show you why later. Ayan. Okay. So, feature, style, benefits. So, yeah, there's some truth to that. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar with the features and benefits, for those who didn't say yes, like or me, okay. So, let's say you're selling a camera, right? The feature, it has a gazillion megapixels. And the benefits would be, since I'm going to be able to take clear pictures, then the benefit would be, being able to capture better memories in print. Okay, so it's a good thing to do, right? Yeah, it's a good thing to do. Yung features and benefits, don't get me wrong. But what I've noticed, and what you're gonna notice this as well, what you're gonna notice is that most of the sequences that copywriters write is, is focused on features and benefits. Yun lang. That's all their yun lang yung alam nilang gawin, features and benefits. And I was the same back then. Okay? And I thought, di ba, yung sabi na niya, features, benefits, akala ko ganun lang siya kasimple. And when I was doing that, when I was focusing on features and benefits, my emails were okay, but they didn't work as much as I'd hoped them to be. Hindi yung mga tipong tulad ng screenshots na nakita mo kanina na may 6 pa kaming email na isasend lagpas-lagpas na yung benta. Hindi ganun. Tipong pahirapan yung yung bentahan. I get sales here and there, but it was never as widely as successful when I focused on their problems. Okay, so opportunity, and then the second is the problem. Now, what makes it work actually is what you do is you you make them remember that they do have a problem, and then make them accept that they have a problem. Okay, so yun yung goal mo, to make them remember that they have a problem, kasi no one gets up and says, shit, kailangan ko muna ng client. Walang taong ganun. Diba? Walang taong bumabangon sa umaga bago mag-toothbrush or shit, kailangan ko muna ng client. Unless yun na talaga yung problema. Walang taong ganun. In fact, in a day, ang daming problema papasok sa utak mo. Papaayos mo yung kotse, o papakawash ka pa pala, maglilinis ka pa pala ng kwarto mo, shit, kailangan ko pala kumuha ng clients. Diba? Maraming problema. So your job is to make them remember and make them accept that they have a problem. Parang parang addiction lang, di ba? Ang unang step sa addiction, saka depression, saka kung ano man, di ba? Ang unang step is always acceptance. Because unless you're able to accept that you have a problem, hindi ka gagalaw. So yun yung trabaho natin, make them realize that there is a problem. Yeah. And let me give you a quick example of this. Right? Ito. When you're driving by, say for example, you're driving by on a highway, or hindi naman highway, like suburban, sabihin natin on a subdivision. And which one of these would catch your attention? Which one of these would catch your attention? Bawa, pag tumigil ka sa tapat ng bahay mo, subdivision, alin yung dalawang to? Alin yung hihintuan mo ng matagal? Okay. Guys, walang tama maling sagot dito, ah. Walang ano, walang walang tama at maling sagot dito. Yung chismosa puwedeng tumigil dun sa crime scene, yung lalaki puwedeng tumingin sa kotse. Wala namang ano dun, okay? Now, here's the thing, okay? What I want you guys to realize is these two pictures right here represent your audience, okay? They represent your audience. What I mean is, yung mga hindi pa aware sa problema, halimbawa, hindi naman yan, wala naman sa tapat ng bahay niya yung crime scene, bakit siya mawo-worry? Titingnan niya yung kotse, and that's the opportunity right there. Nasa tapat niya yung ng bahay niya yung ano, yung crime scene o kaya kahit mga isang dangkal lang yung layo o mga dalawang bahay lang layo, titigilin niya yung crime scene. Kasi baka mamaya, 'di ba? Whenever you see a crime scene, ito yan, whenever you see a crime scene, whenever you see a police, an ambulance, 'di ba it easily catches your attention kasi may problema. This is a perfect example na you can't just go with problems right away because there are people who are attracted with the opportunity, right? So another concrete example of this is um, I used to have a laptop. I think it was like 3 years na before. And as a result, syempre, matagal na. It was already experiencing longer lag times, mabagal na, hirap na mag-upload, etc. Diba? So, sometimes it crashes down pa. Yun. So, in hindsight, I really do need a good laptop. Not the best one, I just need a good one. So, if someone could give me the best laptop, actually, bibiling ko na siya. Kung may lumapit lang doon sa akin, there and there, bibiling ko na siya. But guess what happened? I didn't replace it not until it actually stopped working. Because as much as it was a problem for me, when I go to the mall, it's not the top of my mind. Diba? It's not the top of my head. It's right at the back of my mind. Eh. Diba? When I go to the mall, gusto kong mag-enjoy. Diba? And frankly, the ones in the mall, yung mga nagbibenta naman ng laptops doon, they're not really doing a good job selling the laptops. Pero kung may sign doon na nagsabing sira na ba laptop mo, like literal, yun yung sign, sira na ba laptop mo? Sa tingin mo hindi ko maaalala yun? Like, naglalakad na ako. Di ba? Tapos biglang may sign doon, sira na ba laptop mo? Putang na ako nga no. Bibilin ko yun. Kasi sira na laptop ko eh. At di ko man siya bilhin, at least titingin ako doon. Kasi sira na yung laptop ko. But the thing is, yung mga signs sa mall, puro ano lang, di ba? Puro opportunity. It's all about specs. Hindi ko naman alam yun. Wala akong alam sa mga specs. Malay ko ba kung 128 gigabytes yan. Wala akong pakialam. Hindi naman ako techie. Di ba? But if someone asked me, like if someone had, sila na ba laptop mo? Nagahang ba? Mabagal ba yung laptop mo mag-upload? I would have gone there. Either paayos or bumili ng bagong laptop. Yan. Okay? Now, here's an example of this in action. Ito yung problem. Okay? I want you guys to let me know if you see the whole thing. Yan. Okay. Now, that's literally, okay, guys, that's literally half of the email. Ito yung tanong ko sa inyo. May sinulat ba ako dyan sa tingin niyo? Ang bilis makawala yun, Audrey. Actually, ang sinulat ko dyan, someone sent me this a while back and I figured I'd share this with you. But everything yan, copy and paste yan. I literally just formatted it correctly para di naman isang bulto na babasahin nila isang bloke. But literally, yung first line lang ang sinulat ko dyan. But if you're someone who's just like this woman, kay Cherry, ano mararamdaman mo? Diba? Ako to eh. Ako to, kumbaga, sapul eh, di ba? Kahit di naman sa akin galing yung word sapul ka pa rin ito eh. It would resonate with you. That's what I'm talking about. So when someone reads this email and mabubulagaan siya ng problema, guess what kung ano maalala niya? Problema niya. Di ba? Problema niya maalala niya eh. And the only way to sell someone into something is pag naalala niya may problema siya. You can't sell to someone na walang problema. Yun natatandaan niyo, guys. You can't sell to someone na walang problema, na perfectly happy sa buhay. So, ayan. Ayan siya. So, mapapansin niyo ginagawa namin yan madalas. If someone send me this email, tapos bagsak ng isang mahabang message. Ayan. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're making you aware that there is a problem. Because unless we make you aware that there is a problem, hindi kayo makikinig sa amin. Okay? So, guys, are we clear with the first two? The first two puzzle pieces? Okay, kung clear, paki-comment niya ano yung first two puzzle pieces natin. Bigyan sila ng, hindi sila bibigyan ng problema. Sama naman ito. Binigyan talaga ng problema. Papaalala mo lang. Get their attention with the opportunity and then let them remember na may problema sila. Right? Kailangan ba chronologically ipe-present yung puzzle pieces? If you can present it chronologically, mas maganda. Kasi di ba sabi ko nga, you can't present the product yet kung wala yung opportunity saka yung yung problem. So you don't have their attention eh. They have no incentive para abangan yung mga susunod mong email. Diba? Ikaw abangan, anong meron doon? Baka magbenta ka lang ulit eh. Diba? So hindi pa tayo nagbebenta nito. We're just slowly pre-launching the product. And, okay. So the third puzzle piece. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen this. Okay? If you've seen this. Pero dun sa email namin sa inyo, parang second email yata yun, when we were launching this, we also told you our why, our mission. Do you guys remember? Like nung nag-launch tayo, we also told your biggest why. Parang ganun. And that's why mission is important. Same thing. Parang sabi nga ni Des dito, mission blurb. Yeah, mission done. Same thing. Okay. Now, here's what most email copywriters forget or completely ignore, but that's every bit as important. Okay? So according to Simon Sinek, siya yung author nung Start With Why, right? As a business owner, you have to realize that, okay, guys remember this, you have to realize as a business owner na there's barely a product or service in the market today that customers can't buy at the same price, at the same quality, at the same level of service, with the same feature and the same benefits. Okay? And even if, for example, you're the first in the market, ikaw yung pinakauna-unahang ganun. Diba? Let's say you were Uber. Diba? Nagkaroon ng Grab. Okay, even if you were the first in the market or even if you offer something that's truly breakthrough, yung parang breakthrough product. Diba? Sooner or later, someone else will soon come up and would come up with something similar, and they'd be probably similar with your product when it comes to price, quality, level of service, feature, and benefits. So basically, kung ganon, what makes you different? Diba? What makes your product different? So what makes your product stand out aside from creating the proper offer mamaya, diba? What makes you stand out aside from the benefits and the features, diba? It's the why. It's the mission behind your service. Now remember, right at this moment, you now have their attention. Using the opportunity, and then you have you have their attention. You got their attention using opportunity. You've maintained that attention by telling them about their problem, and then after telling them about their problem, Here's what you're gonna do. Ito yung karugtong ng email kanina. Do you guys see it? Yeah. Okay. So ito yung karugtong ng email kanina. So if we're gonna read this, ito yung sabi niya, is this you? Blank, Cherry. So we got them in a problem. And then I really would love to tell you her that there is a way, as I too am not immune to these kinds of struggles. Sure, you see me on TV as a celebrity, but it doesn't make me any different from you. People see him as a co-host, blah blah blah. I'm a mom and a wife too, 100% of the time. These are struggles, sure, but I love every single day. I love my family. I definitely love food. Truth is, I love wine, coffee, chocolate, pizza and chips. Many of the things you're being told not to enjoy. Guess what? I eat these on a regular basis. And if you notice, yung sa affiliate sequence ni Alan, meron din siyang ganito. And this is what I want for you. And to be free from the old belief that food makes us fat. Food does not need to be the enemy or even a guilty pleasure. Now, if you read all these things and put in I believe, mapapansin nyo, I'm literally telling them the things that I believe in. That this is what I want for you, to be free from the old belief that food makes us fat. I believe that food does not need to be the enemy, and keeping it up doesn't have to amount to starving your taste buds. I believe that preparing and planning healthy food isn't supposed to be a challenge either. I believe that family members can, should not be seen as a hindrance to losing those extra kilograms or pounds. I believe, yeah, parang ganun, yung parang I believe siya. Kahit lagyan mo siya ng I believe dito, ito yung part where you're telling them exactly what you believe in. Okay. Did you guys get that? Nakita nyo ba? And okay. Again, you're gonna receive a template and there's like magugulat kayo kung gaano siya kasimple. So basically you're just telling them exactly what you believe in. Yun lang yun. And why do you think we're telling them what we believe in? What's the goal, do you think? Anyone? What's the goal of telling them exactly what we believe? To set yourself apart from others. Yep, that's one of the reasons. Credibility. Hmm, pwede. Trust. Okay. All right. Ala, kinalimutan niyo yung sinabi ni Alan dun sa huling training. Patay tayo dyan. Magalit na naman sa inyo si Alan. Grrr. Let them know that you empathize with them. Patay tayo dyan. And now, tama naman yung mga sinabi nyo. Like, it has that same effect.
But here's the thing kasi. Okay? Teka lang, ayusin ko lang yung microphone.
Yan. Sirit na. Okay. That's the thing. Kaya mo siya sasabi the things that you believe in, because anyone, diba, we develop this rapid relationship with anyone who believes in the same thing we do. Pansinin mo sa simbahan, di naman kayo magkakilala. You just believe in the same God. That's why close kayo. Like, mga politician supporters, di naman kayo magkakilala. But you believe in the same politician, so magkakasama kayo. Diba? Like, a good example of this, yun yung politics. Like, sometimes you don't even care about the platform. You don't even care about the platform. All you care about is that this person believes the same thing you do. Belief niya is to a greater Philippines. Ganyan. Kaya nanalo si Trump di ba? Kasi his belief, I want to make America great again. And anyone who believes, that voted for him. It doesn't matter kung ano ugali ni Trump. It doesn't matter kung may mga kaso siya. It doesn't matter whatever it is. Okay? You connect with a person because you have the same belief. Yeah. Mapapansin mo may mga banda ka na gusto or ayaw mo, may mga artista kang gusto or ayaw mo. Hindi mo maintindihan kung ba't ayaw mo sila or gusto. Okay? It's not because hindi sila magaling or hindi sila guwapo or hindi sila maganda. Sometimes they just have a set of beliefs that you can relate with. Pares pala kaming naniniwala sa ganito. Yeah. So yun. That's why you want to put out your beliefs kasi that gets them to bond with you faster. You guys get it? Ito yung this is why we keep telling people what we believe in, because anyone who believes in what we believe in, they usually become our customers, our clients, or even students, you guys. Yan. Di ba? I also believe that should be the Silicon Valley of freelancing. That's our goal. Anyone who believes that would probably be my student. Yan. Now, syempre, iba, nagtatanong na dyan. So, how would I make sure na yung belief ko align sa belief nila? Naisip niyo ba yan? How would you make sure na yung belief mo align sa belief nila? Kasi, di ba, alangan namang sabihin mo yung belief mo tapos di naman pala nila belief. You've just literally alienated like yung mga ano mo, audience mo. Galing. Si Roxy. Yep, yung SMIQ. Okay? Yung belief nyo, if you really want to sell a whole lot, right? If you really want to sell a whole lot, you're gonna pick from the SMIQ that you have, pick whichever mga response na you actually believe in and put it here. Gets nyo ba, guys? So, kinopy-paste ko yung simula, tapos ito kinopy-paste ko rin. So basically lang sinulat ko dito is yung I really would love to tell her. And up until this is what I want for you. Pero yung from losing weight to their family members, copy-pasted yun. Like I got the SMIQ, yung mga responses na sa SMIQ, and then kung yun yung belief nila and it resonates with me and with the product owner, then I'm gonna put that as yung belief niya para malaman nila magkapareha sila. You get, nakuha niyo ba yun, guys? Di mo naman sinasabi yung pangalan eh. Like, for example, itong linyan to, preparing and planning healthy food isn't supposed to be a challenge either. So, that's a generic response eh. So, I don't think you need to ask for permission just to be able to put that line. Yung first part, ikaw, bahala ka. Pero if they didn't give their email, wala rin naman. Kahit baguhin mo lang yung pangalan. Yeah. Okay? So, next part to that, mapapansin niyo yung if, or. Mapapansin niyo yung tatlong if, then or. Yeah. Did you guys see yung part na if you're strapped for time, if you have sweet spot, if you have thyroid problems, or just too depressed, okay? Guys, hindi ko rin sinulat yan. That comes from the CDS. Actually, may sinulat naman akong part, parang nireword ko lang siya para magmukhang maganda. Pero same thing, it all comes from the responses sa survey. So, if we're gonna take a look at this email, ito, ang sinulat ko yung first line, ito ang sinulat ko yung I really would love hanggang this is what I want for you. Tapos, itong that said, hanggang talk soon. Yan. But the other parts, yung mga tipong may hirap isulat talaga, like kasi you're going deep into the emotion and stuff, That's supposed to come from your research. Right? That's supposed to come from your research. Ang problema kasi ng ibang copywriters kaya hindi sila nakabenta is because they're trying to guess. Eh, hindi ka naman normal na copywriter. Di ba? Astig kaya kayo. Di ba? So, wala lang. I'm just telling you guys, once you know this, copywriting would never be the same. It's literally it's literally copywriting. Eh, okay. So next puzzle piece, and medyo marami pa to. 1.5 na. Sabi niya, almost feels like cheating. Actually, bro, sobrang ang galing ni Jeff eh. Email copywriters tayo, hindi email ghostwriters. Exactly. Diba? Yun yung mali ng ibang copywriters. They try to guess. Paano sila diba? Paano sila benta when you're guessing? It's like, yung copy mo, parang kang tumataya sa blackjack. Either tumama o hindi. Diba? So why not? Siguraduhin mo na like ang tatama. So ayan. So the next puzzle piece is this. Ito. The story. Nice. Yan. Yeah. So storytelling in action. So this is the fourth puzzle piece. Now, for those who are not really familiar with how and why stories are important, okay, let's just say that stories are incredibly important in creating ideas that stick. Yeah, it makes ideas stick. Because as humans, kasi, we process information. How do I say, like, much more efficiently when it's in the form of a story. And in fact, we're likely to remember a point if it's through a story. We even remember things better. Actually, now that I think about it, we even remember things better when there's a story attached to it. Like the Petra story, exactly. That's why I made a story about, kasi e-com, di ba masalimuot siya? Masalimuot siya eh. Like yung e-com, medyo mahirap siyang sundan. That's why I needed to create a Petra so that it would stick. Yeah. Now, like take this for example. And 052-823-80632. Does that number mean anything to you guys? Nope, nothing. Wala. Yeah. In fact, if you take a look at that, I could ask you to memorize it right now. Okay? If can you memorize it ba? Yung number. Can you memorize it right now? And actually kanina nyo pa tinitingnan. So, may iba naka-memorize na, di ba? But if I ask you again, siguro mga a day or two from now, dimot nyo na yun malamang. Dimot nyo na yun. Kasi walang story. Yeah. But, if I ask you guys, anong date yung anniversary nyo? Alam nyo ba kung anong date yung anniversary nyo? Yung mga may asawa dyan, alam nyo ba? Sige, lagay nyo nga dito para malaman natin kung alam nyo yung anong date yung anniversary. Yan, patay sa mga misis, mga screenshot nga to. Ayan. Ako, may nagkamali pa yata. Ayan. Okay. But and here's the thing, di ba? Here's the thing. Yung kaninang pinapamemorya ko sa inyo is, ilang numbers lang ba to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 lang siya. Di ba? 11 lang siya. But, ito kasi, yung anniversary nyo, if, di ba, aside from remembering yung 6 na digits, in fact, naaalala ko pa minsan kadalasan yung lugar na pinuntahan nyo, kung kailan kayo unang nag-anniversary, sino-sino mga kasama nun, ano yung suot. Di ba kayo nagtataka, ba't nyo naaalala yun? When in fact, tapos itong simpleng number, then di nyo makalimutan. Sa suot. And exactly, may feels. There's a story kasi behind it. Yun. And that's the thing. It's simply human nature for us to remember things and events that you know, na may story. And we quickly forget dry data tulad nito. We quickly forget dry data with, you know, kapag compared to someone with a story. Ang problema kasi, ito yung problema. Most marketing or most emails, most copy is just that. It's just one fact after another, after another, after another. They don't insert any story in it. Walang feels. Parang here's the product. It's tulad ng ano, tulad ng laptop, 'di ba? 128 gigabytes, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah, blah. Puro mga stats. Okay? Mga ganun. Eh ang problema, people don't hindi nag-stick yung mga ganun sa mga tao eh, unless there's a story involved. And that's usually what we see out there. Yun ang masama. That's usually what we see out there. It's mostly about facts. But yun nga, since iba kang copywriter, you're trying to be different, right? You're trying to be different from what's out there. And if you really want your marketing to like sizzle, if I may say, you want people to remember it. You need to turn your marketing messages into stories. So if I remember, Alan, bro, you're gonna have a mini training about it, right? Tama ba ako? You're gonna have a mini training about creating stories. Um, so we're gonna have a more in-depth mini training about stories. Yeah, the anti-boring emails. But for the meantime, let me show you what I mean when I say stories. And this is a story. Kompletong story. Yeah. Okay. John, meet Trisha. Ayan. So when you're creating a story, you always start at the climax. Hindi ito yung climax na bastos ah. Baka mamaya, baka kayo magsulat ng email, mag-climax muna kayo. Hindi yun ang hinihingi ko ah. Sabi ni Sir, ano ginagawa mo? Sabi ni Sir Jan, kailangan daw mag-climax muna eh. Hindi yun ang sinasabi ko ah. Sabi ko, start at the climax. Yung, oy, wag kang alin, grabe, linis mo. Hiyang-hiya ako sa kadilisayan ng kalooban mo ah. Ayan, start at the climax. When I say start at the climax, baga mag-start ka dun sa tipong parang kagulat-gulat na part. Parang, I almost died. I almost died that night. Yun yung climax. Di ba? O kaya ang climax, my car was smashed into pieces. Yun ang ano, pasabog kagad. Yun. Di ba? Minsan sa pelikula, manonood ka ng Hollywood na pelikula, may pinatay kagad. Tapos nagbabacktrack na lang sila kung sino yung pinatay. So malalaman mo kung, nga, no, siya pala yung killer. Alright. Yun. Start with the climax. Now, next is you have to put in the conflict. Now, this is where you pile on the obstacles as, you know, in your favor. Okay? Now, you want to make sure na you want to make sure na kumbaga yung tawag dito, you don't create a character na walang problema. Okay? Halimbawa, ikaw yung course creator, wala kang problema sa buhay, don't be the character. Right? Iba yung gawin mong character. It could be a student of yours, it could be someone else. Basta yung kukunin mong character, kailangan may problema siya. Hindi pwedeng walang problema. Walang makaka-relate sa'yo pag wala kang problema. Right? So yun, started the climax, and was 10 kilos overweight, and then diretso kagad sa conflict. Okay? Kasi, again, ano yung sinabi natin kanina? What catches your attention? Nagre-review eh. What catches your attention, guys? Ano yung una? Opportunity and then the problem. So, sunod sa opportunity, problem makaka-catch na attention mo. So, kung mag-start at the climax ka agad, tas conflict, guess what? Problem na yan, di ba? And we tend to look at things kapag problema. In fact, sa balita, makikita mo puro bad news. Di ba? Kasi mas mabenta ang bad news eh. Hindi naman nila, di sana kung mas mataas ang rating ng good news, di puro good news na nilagay nila doon. Mas mapera doon eh. Pero hindi, mas mataas ang rating ng bad news. Kasi we always gravitate towards a problem. So when we see a climax na ganito, pasabog na ganyan, and then we see a conflict, we can't help but to find out paano niya na-solve. Ganon din ba kayo? Like if you see a really good problem, di ba? kailangan mong tapusin, kailangan mong malaman kung anong nangyari. But if I said na, I just got a client, ganyan, eh di ka na makikinig. Parang tapos na, yun eh, tinapos yun eh. So ayan, start with the climax, conflict. Okay, my waist was also expanded to the tune of 38 inches. That's proof. Okay, you can't, sometimes, pwedeng walang proof, but if you can insert like proof na naghirap ka talaga, like meron kang proof na nakatira ka sa sala before, nakatira ka sa, nagka-couch surfing ka lang, mas maganda. Yan. Tapos, after proof, eto na. Siyempre, you're gonna go back and tell them, ano yung tipping point? Saan ka ba napuno? Kasi kailan ba napuno yung salok? Parang ganun. Kailan ka ba napuno ng salot? Na parang, de, this is it, kailangan nang tumigil to. Parang ganun. Yan. So that's a tipping point. Okay, next. But I love food. It was my passion. Yan. Yeah, effective nga itong ganitong pattern, di ba? Laging struggle muna. But I love food. It was my passion. So basically justifying their situation using their own words. Ito yung tatandaan nyo, guys. Okay? When it comes to writing a story, or when it comes to kung ano man gagawin mo, do not ever blame your audience. Okay? Do not ever blame your audience. Okay? Huwag niyong gagawin yon. If sinabi mo, mataba ka kasi hindi ka nag-exercise. You do that and you already lost them as clients or customers. Okay? Don't ever blame them even if kasalanan nila. Okay? Do not ever blame them. Keep that in mind. We won't say this kung hindi talaga siya importante. It's probably one of the parang cardinal sins of doing copy, blaming your audience. Yes. Yeah, kaya maraming linya na it's not your fault. Yan. So, ayan. So, but I love food, it was my passion. By the way, yung I love food, it was my passion, ito yung ginagamit nilang reason kung bakit sila di nakapag-lose ng weight. So, I just reiterated it here. Yan. Yan. And then, the setup. The setup is parang babalik ka sa, yung parang bumabalik ka na sa nakaraan. Yan. Ito na yung parang, di ba, nagkabarilan na, tapos may crime scene na, nanarrate na yung kung ano nangyari. Ito na yung tipping point, nag-aagawan ng baril, tapos magbabak. Alam mo yun, kung kailan malalaman ako sino yung killer, mag-flashback bigla. Di ba? Nag-flashback bigla. Dream music. So when I was 18, fresh out of high school, I knew that my life would be devoted to good food, blah, blah, blah. Yan. Tapos, hence the dilemma. Yun yung burning question. Yan. How does one enjoy good food without increasing the dress size? Ito na yung opportunity. Enter Trisha Robertson. And the opportunity could either be good or bad. Nga pala. It doesn't matter naman if it's bad or good. As long as there's a transformation. Okay, pwedeng nasunog ka sa isang nasunog ka sa isang mentor, pero doon ka nagbago. Or pwede namang nakakuha ka ng tamang pagkakatiwalaan, doon ka nagbago. But the only thing that you have to remember, guys, kapag magsusulat ka ng story like this, the change or transformation should come from an outside factor. Hindi yung tipong na-realize niya na kailangan niya mag-diet. That's a very important. Salamat, Alan, bro. That's a really important point, right? Hindi pwedeng na-realize lang na-realize ko kailangan pala mag-diet, hindi. Kailangan yung kailangan yung change na yon or yung parang tipping point mangyayari dahil it came from an outside factor. It could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be an event. Basta triggered siya ng sa labas na factor, hindi yung tipong one day gumising ka and na-realize mo kailangan mo magbago. Hindi siya ginagawa na ganun. And the reason why you don't do that is, guys, listen up because it's really important. The reason you don't do that is kapag hindi mo nilagay sa outside factor yung ano. Di ba, remember when I said you don't really blame them sa kasalanan nila? Same thing with this. The moment that you said na na-realize ko na sa'yo nang galing from within, now, they have no reason to buy your product. And it's also gonna put them in a, alam mo yun, like babalik sila eh, parang tawag dito, wala naman akong ganong ano, magrarason na yun eh. Magrarason na rin yun na, siya yun, ako hindi ko kaya yun eh. Nagets niyo ba? Hindi pwedeng sa'yo manggagaling yung change Kasi ang dami kong nakikitang marketers na ganito, na nagyayabang sa sales page tapos na-realize sila. And then realize one day, blah, 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 patay tayo dun. You literally just destroyed your your sales. Kailangan it should be an outside factor. Kasi in their life, okay, remember, this is like a movie. But when you're watching a movie, sometimes you're imagining the movie as if ikaw yun. Have you done that? Nanood ka ng movie, tapos na-imagine mo ikaw yung bida? In this story, you might be telling your story, but sila yung bida. And for them, ikaw, as the vendor, ikaw si Trisha Robertson, kumbaga. Ikaw yung magbabago ng buhay nila. Yeah. I think I've confused a lot of people with what I just said. Guys, just give me a quick yes kung gets, if not, or no if not. Para Jeff, answer to that question is yes. Always attribute it to external thing or factor. Yes. Yung change, yung transformation or change always to an outside factor. Okay. Joy says, sorry, I didn't get po. Ayan. So, eto ulitin ko siya para magets ng iba. Okay, so the opportunity, yung transformation, di ba, you're telling a story. Di ba? Dati ganito ako, mahirap ako, etc. Broke ako, wala akong kapera-pera, nanakawan pa ako. Tapos, one day, na-realize ko kailangan ko magbago. Mali yun. Okay, because the moment you do that, hindi ka nila hanapin kasi change can come from within pala eh. Which is true kung kaya nila. Diba? If you want them, gusto mo silang tulungan, paano mo sila tutulungan? Kailangan nandun ka. So if there's a change sa story mo, it should be coming from an outside factor. It could be a mentor, it could be an event, it could be a thing, it could be an accident. Bawa na aksidente ka, dun sa accident na realize mo na kailangan magbago. Then yes, that would be better. Kasi while you're reading your story kasi, while they're reading your story or your client's story or another, someone else's story, you have to take into consideration na they're reading it, pero they're putting themselves dun sa story. You're imagining as if your story is their story. So kung sinabi mo sa kanila na bigla ka na nagbago, they're also gonna, di ba? Either assume nila na bigla na lang sila magbabago or i-assume nila na ikaw yun. Ako, hindi naman ako ganun eh. Pero if you put it outside, ang isipin nila, kaya pala marunong siya nito kasi may mentor siya. Gets na ba, guys? Guys, a quick yes. We have 89 people here. I need to see at least 40 people saying yes. Okay. Clear na tayo, guys, kung ano. And so after the opportunity, that's when you come with a new situation. And ito na yung parang future. Parang pasimula na siya ng ano ng change niya, transformation. From waist 38 to 28, I almost can't believe it. Here I'm eating my way to weight loss transformation. And that's when my attitude towards food started to change. The different feeling when you just don't worry about it anymore. And all the time I'm thinking, this isn't just a diet, this is life. I was in love. And now that I have the ability and resources to educate other people about the joy of cooking and eating, I couldn't stop thinking how sad it is that people have this love and hate relationship with food. That used to be me watching my diet like a starving hawk to a prey. Being free from the worries of adding another pound as you bite off a slice of pizza is priceless. But it's something that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't learned the food formula that I'm about to share with you within the next couple of days. Stay tuned. Sa tingin mo, anong magiging reaction na dyan? Diba? You've gotten their attention with the opportunity. You made them realize that they have a problem. Diba? They have, you made them realize that they have a problem, and then you told them the story. Ayan. And ang matindi dito, hindi ka pa nagbebenta. So by the time na i-open mo na yung ano, yung product mo, excited na silang bumili. Right? This is called the pre-launch sequence. Hindi pa to launch sequence, ito yung pre-launch. Okay? So the pre-launch is as important as the launch. Kasi iba nagpo-focus lang sa launch kasi doon na nagkakapera. But you have to focus actually 75% of the work dun sa pre-launch. Right? So yan. So mga naghahanap sa food formula, pasensya na guys. Di ko na alam kung anong link nito. Yan, nakalimutan ko na. Guys, 2016 pa to, utang na loob. Ilang taon na nakakalipas. 2019 na, oh. Yan. So next, tawag dito, bilisan na lang natin ang contest since magto 2 hours na tayo. Utang na loob. Baka abutin na naman tayo ng oras. So yan. So the next is the problem and the solution. So guys, nakita nyo naman yung sequence natin. So once you've gone past the problem, and then the why, and then the story, about opportunity, problem, why, and then the story, then you've literally started a fire in their brain right now. Parang nararamdaman ni Roxy ngayon. Okay? Because again, you didn't just go in and offer a solution. Yun yung mali eh. Most people kasi, when they write emails, they just go in, then offer the solution. Hindi ganun yun. So you have to go through the process. So you got their attention by showcasing the opportunity. You reminded them, about the problem they have. You basically made your why known, so they would be attracted to you based on what you stand for, and then you have them relate through your story. And now this problem and the solution, and this is where what you're gonna do with the problem and solution is basically we're gonna give them a glimpse of the solution to the problem, which you're gonna be launching. Ito yung part na yun. Okay, the more you make them feel the pain, the more you make them feel the pain, the higher the chance of them actually buying your product. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing in this email is we're gonna go back, take the problem, put it out in all its glory, and then get their attention back. Kasi just because, di ba, na-excite ka sa email ngayon, just because na-excite ka sa email ngayon doesn't mean na kinabukasan, you'd feel the same excitement. So we're gonna bring we're gonna bring them back to earth, and then send them something like this. Yan. Okay. Did you guys read it? Nabasa niyo ba? Alright. Just wanna make sure na nakikita niyo guys kasi I don't have an idea sa screen ko. Hindi ko nga makita yung attendees eh. Yan. So anyway, so subject, your biggest challenge when it comes to dieting. Last time I asked you to share your biggest challenge when it comes to diet. And so if you notice, anong ginawa natin dito, guys? Anong ginawa natin dito? I copy paste. Yep. Okay. So what we did was we literally, again, copywriter nga eh. We literally copy and pasted the top, yung kumbaga yung mga most recurring themes dun sa SMIQ natin. And when I say most recurring, hindi yung mga non-hyper, ah. Ito yung mga hypers talaga. Ito yung mga most recurring themes nila. So, kaya natin ginagawa nito, ito yung parang tatawag natin parang shotgun approach. Kung hindi man ito yung struggle mo, itong pangalawa malamang. Kung hindi man yung pangalawa, malamang yung pangatlo. Kung hindi man yung pangatlo, malamang yung pang-apat. Ay, hindi mo struggle din, ito pang-lima. Ay, hindi yung pang-lima, ito pang-anim. Okay, so parang we're trying to get everyone's attention here. Sa lahat ng mga hyper natin, yung mga nag-reply na mahaba, we're trying to get their attention dito sa email na to. Yan. So there are a bunch of other challenges, but those are the recurring themes. It's not surprising to hear some of the most common misconceptions like eating healthy expensive, that it takes more time and a whole lot to prepare. So, ang sinulat ko lang dito sa part na to, it's not surprising to hear some of the most common misconceptions like, tas copy paste. Jay says, nire-revise niyo pa rin ba minsan yung answer sa SMIQ? Of course. Pero Jay, as much as possible, kung readable naman siya, you won't wanna reword it. Okay? Kasi it's their word eh. Sometimes we say things in a different way, but the market says things in a different way. Yan. Okay? Okay ba, Jay? As much as possible, don't try to revise the SMIQ. Pero kung hindi siya hindi sakto sa sentence, then try to make it work. Okay? Masahin mo lang ng konti. Okay? To which I say, absolutely not. And here's another one. Most people, yan, SMIQ na naman yan. All I have to do is say when in fact it doesn't have to be. Okay? Jay says, Aldrin says, sa previous example, 50 to 107 nila getting client getting ang problem niya. Ilalagay ba natin dyan? No, man. No. Again, ilalagay lang natin dito yung most recurring themes ng mga hyper mo. So kung I'm struggling to get clients lang nilagay nila sa sagot nila, they're not hypers, di ba? So yung mga hyper lang to, yung top 20%. So ito yung mga paulit-ulit na sinasabi ng top 20% mo. Okay, sila lang yung gusto mong i-attract. Hindi mo gusto i-attract yung mga hindi na wala nang pakialam sa product mo. You wanna attract those who are willing to spill their guts out para lang solusyonan yung problema nila. Right? And of course, there are my favorites. Sugar weakness, blah, blah, blah. And all of which can be addressed with a proper food foundation. But here's the caveat. Yan. Itong mga if, galing din yan sa SMIQ. Okay? So, I only know one proven way. One that doesn't prohibit you from enjoying the more important things in life. Ito, puro din to SMIQ. Ayan. So, kung nagtataka kayo kung may sinusulat pa ba ako dito, actually, meron naman. Ito, it's possible for you and easier than you think. So, where and how do you get started? That's where I comment. You see, the following food formula is easy. It only needs your commitment. Because once you have that, showing you the nuances in the process would be a cinch. Things like, ito. Okay, ito galing din to sa mga, hulaan nyo saan to galing. Itong bullets na to. Tulog na yata ang mga tao. Yep, galing pa rin yan sa SMIQ. sa survey. Okay, doon lang natin siya kinukuha. For example, ito. Ang SMIQ niya, I have a hard time cooking for myself and my family. So ginawa lang natin siyang the Martha Stewart secret on cooking for yourself and your family with ease. Bullet na siya. Also, I think Alan's gonna have a bullet, may template siya when it comes to bullets. So ang gagawin niyo na lang, get the SMIQ, stick it into that. Yan. Those and a whole bunch more. Ito na, i-announce mo na. This coming Monday, I'm opening the doors to your blank program where I give you my proven food formula to improve your health, blah, blah, blah. I will warn you though, This isn't a lose your weight fast program. There's already a lot of them out there, blah, blah, blah. Rather just to lose it and keep it off permanently kind of program while still having the freedom to eat that tasty cookie. Sounds like a dream diet. How about making it your reality? Especially when you hear what blank members achieved during the course of 8 weeks. In fact, here's what name has to say. Now, blah blah blah. I couldn't have said it better. And while you wait for the program to open, I want you to think about this. And now here, what I'm doing here is I'm already putting an anchor on the price. Do you guys know what an anchor is? Like a price anchor? Sino dito familiar with the price anchor? Okay. So basically, anchoring the price, I'm telling you, like, for example, let me give an example of price anchoring. My rate per hour is 375. Okay. My rate per hour is $375. So if I'm selling you a program, for example, EUI, ginamit ko yan, and I want to anchor it para mas mapataas ko yung presyo ng EUI. Okay. And say I said, and I told you now, okay, so at the most, at the very least, we're gonna be spending 20 hours together. So 20 hours multiplied by 375, ilan yun? Diba? 20 hours multiplied by 375, that's 7,500. That's $7,500 times 50, that's 375,000 pesos. So if I want to anchor the price, I want to say that in total, to get this from me, if you want one-on-one personal coaching with me, you're gonna have to pay 375,000 pesos. Same thing I'm doing here. Okay, 326 upwards a year on diet supplements. And then, say for example, diba sinabi ko, 375 to work with me one-on-one, to work with you 20 hours, blah, blah, blah. But you're not gonna have to pay half of that or even a quarter of that. You only have to pay me 10,000 pesos. Compare 10,000 to 375. Di ba? Ang una mong reaction nun, whew, di ba? Discount. But if I don't do that, and sinabi ko sa inyo, here's the price, 10,000 pesos. And you have nothing to, di ba? You have nothing to compare it to. You're gonna think 10,000 is a lot. Di ba? If 10,000 by its own, it's a lot of money. But 10,000 compared to 375,000, and that's just me. E paano na si Alan? Di ba? So you're literally getting over 600,000 pesos in value for time alone, and you only need to pay 10,000 pesos. Now 10,000 pesos doesn't seem all too, di ba? So yeah, that's what you're doing. So in-anchor ka na sa 326. Tapos sinabi ko, but what if you don't even have to spend half of that? Di ba? Sinabi ko, like, logically 326 you're gonna spend for all these. But what if you don't even have to spend half of that? So I'm already seeding that doubt in their mind na, shit, pucha, mura yata to ah. Ganun. So kailangan nila abangan yung next email. Diba? Guys, was that clear yung anchoring? Clear ba yung anchoring? Or do I have to explain it again? Yun. Right. Okay. So the next puzzle piece, and para matapos na tayo, malapit na. Okay. So the next puzzle piece is the offer. Yeah. So the offer, it goes like this. Ito lang siya. When we open up enrollment, yan na yun. So you don't need much convincing on the offer. And in fact, um, diba, I mentioned that all the front load of the work should be in the pre-launch. By yung research, we make them really excited, you get their attention. Because once you've done that, by this time, they're probably warmed up to receive your promotion. Kaya when it comes to launches, yung pinakamarami mong benta, it's usually at the beginning and at the end of the launch. Okay, guys, take note of that. Yung benta is usually at the beginning and at the end. Yung gitna, walang masyadong benta yon. Okay? So if, for example, nag-launch kayo, tapos pagdating sa gitna, ala, ba't biglang nawala ng benta? That is fine. Okay? That is fine. Di naman yung sabihin na nabano ka. Right? So most ng benta nasa beginning and nasa end. Right? Yan. Email 6 pa lang, good na sila. Exactly. Yan. Kung magaling ka talaga, you receive some email, some sales pa rin here and there sa gitna. Ganun naman din talaga. If you do this right, the way we're showing you, ganun din talaga lalabas. But I just don't want you guys to expect na parang kung anong sales sa unang araw, ganun pa rin sales sa pangalawa, sa pangatlo, hindi ganun. Meron siyang parang malaking hukay sa gitna. Nagkakaroon lang ng malaking spike sa gitna kapag meron kang unannounced bonus na nilalagay sa gitna. Mga ganun. Right? So that's the offer. That's the 6th puzzle piece. Next, 7th puzzle piece. And ito nga pala, yung the offer, if you notice it, it caters to the worldly nature of us humans, di ba? Ito yung like pride, greed, lust. Nandito yan sa email na yan. Like we're taking advantage of yung greed, yung pride na maging sexy and all that. So yung same day, that's the 7th puzzle piece, yung same day email reminder. So the moment na nag-launch ka ngayong araw, umaga to, sa hapon, mag-send ka na ulit ng email. But this time, yung email mo, same day email reminder, it's to pitch on their higher self or their higher sense of purpose. And may naguluhan ba? May naguluhan ba sa sinabi ko? Kung ito yung medyo human side of things, ito yung humanistic side. Okay? So same day, pitch on their higher self or their higher sense of purpose. And here's an example email of that. And an unusual story on your VIP invitation. And there's a story about an elderly woman who always on the water's edge every morning with a metal cage sitting beside her. The metal cage is actually a small trap she uses to catch turtles. Don't worry, no turtles were harmed in this story. She uses them, the cage to catch them so she can clean up their shells from algae and scum, which reduces their ability to swim and the corrosion that weakens their shell over time. Only then she puts them back in the water. Quite a noble deed. Now, this actually went on for weeks until finally, a woman seeing the old lady on the same spot almost every day went up to her and asked, I don't mean to be rude and all, but don't you think your time can be better spent elsewhere? It's kind, yes, but there are a million turtles out there and you're just one old lady. What possible difference could it make? The woman looked down at the turtle in her lap, scrubbed the last piece of algae and scum off its shell, and said, Sweetie, if this little guy could talk, he'd tell you I just made all the difference in this world. Yan. Now, this one, hindi ko naman sinulat, like, there are popular stories like this. Then literally, just reword it. Just lagay mo dito. Basically, what we're doing here is we're showing here the story. Kasi ito, for over 15 years, I've been coaching and devising custom eating and nutrition plans for private clients. Whether you're pregnant, overweight, a celebrity, an athlete, or just plain busy. In my mind, all I can think of is making one small difference at a time. It was good and all, but then it hit me. I'm like that old woman in the story. If only there's a way I can spread the message in a way that would create a ripple, a huge one, which led to the birth of this idea that I'm about to share with you. Listen closely. You're part of the equation to make this happen. Over the years, I watched so many people like myself struggle with the myth that to be healthy means going without the foods they love. It shouldn't be the case. For me, healthy food is freedom, but I also love indulgent foods. Somewhere along the line, we have to realize that it's all about creating a healthy food foundation, learning to cook, understanding the different food groups, and not feeling guilty about indulging yourself. It really is this simple. If it's what's waiting for you if you're ready to take the next step. So in line with the announcement I just sent you earlier, consider this your VIP invitation and then link there. This 8-week program, blah blah blah. Yeah. So however, whatever what I forgot to tell you on yesterday's email is that the program isn't for everybody. The program itself is very thorough and everything from food, blah, 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 and all that. And then for those who believe, for those who want, puro galing na to sa SMIQ. And then here's the link to the program. Okay. Did you guys see the difference dito sa email na to and then sa email na to? Hala. What was the difference? What was the difference, guys? Mundane sa humane. Pwede. Yeah. Yeah. So if you notice, diba, like this would be more on the yung mga it's more on pangsarili. Ito, pansarili to. Ito, it's like a meron kasi mga tao na hindi nagre-respond sa pangsariling, sa pansariling rason lang. There are people who are doing this. Sometimes people would buy your product not because they want to enroll or they want to buy it. Sometimes they just want to support you. Have you felt that in your life, guys? May mga taong, alam mo yun, wala lang. They don't even need your product. They just want to support you. Kasi they stand behind your mission and vision. Yeah. So this is for them, right? This is for them. Yung kaninang email, this is for those who are more about themselves, improving themselves. This is more about helping others, right? So yun. Again, bibigyan ko kayo ng template yan. So kaya mga problema, right? So next is the next puzzle piece is objections. And next puzzle piece is objections. Woo! Malapit na guys. Panggulo na to. So 8th puzzle piece is the objections. Yeah. So yung puzzle piece na na objection, it's kumbaga divided siya into two. Yung first is personal. Lagyan natin dito. 8 puzzle pieces, personal objections. Okay. Ayan, Carol says, your offer for EUI was very good, but your explanation about your mission really struck me. Kaya ako napadyan. Exactly. Okay. Kasi hindi naman natin gumagawa ng isang bagay. Minsan, inisip kasi natin, like, sometimes it's pera-pera lang and all that. But it's not. Like, sometimes may gagawin ka, you just don't realize it, but you're doing it for another reason altogether. Na hindi pang sarili mo. So, ayan. Now, objections, there's the personal objection. Ito yung mga objection niya sa personal, like for example, objections that's more of about themselves. Okay? Kasi baka mamaya pag inisip niyo objections like product objections, di ba? There are objections about themselves. Like for example, kaya ko bang gawin to? Magagawa ko kaya to? Di ba? That's a really big personal objection. So unless you address those kinds of objections, you won't be able to buy someone. Ang sabi ko nga kay friends, when we were doing the sales page, sabi ko, like, you can't really call us, you can't call Alan and I geniuses. Kasi when you call Alan and I geniuses, then they would assume that the only reason we're able to do this is because we're geniuses. So we have to be very careful about the messaging. Okay? You want them to believe na kaya mong ituro yung program. At the same time, you don't want them to be intimidated na they would no longer try. Okay? So to do that, there are 3 steps. Ayan. So it's VFP, it's validate, future pacing, and then proof. This is how you counter an objection, a personal objection. All right? This is how you counter a personal objection. Okay. So guys, remember this kasi you can use this for arguments kahit sa buhay, or may tawag dito, may friend ka na gusto mong i-comfort kasi meron siyang mga existential angst. Ito yun. Okay? Validate, future pacing, and then proof. So let's start with the validate part. So in validate, we're gonna use the format feel, felt, found. Sino dito ang ang familiar sa feel, felt, found na format? Anyone? Nope, 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 and okay. Okay, so maraming hindi familiar sa field felt found. Mamaya makikita niyo yan. Okay, so there's the validate, the field felt found format, and then there's the future pacing. So basically, future pacing is having them imagine or think about how it's gonna be like without that objection. And the proof is the case study's testimonial or anecdotal evidence. Now, if you didn't get all that, huwag kayong magalala, papakita ko naman dito. So ito. Now, I'm using a story. I said using stories make it stick. But in fact, you can just copy and paste an SMIQ there. Okay, remember this? You can copy and paste an SMIQ there. I just went with a story. So yeah, once there was a traveler who drove his car into a ditch near a farm. Good thing was a farmer who saw the accident came with his horse to help pull the car out of the ditch. Without wasting any second, he hitched the horse up to the car and shouted, "Let's go, Bailey, we can do this." Pull, but the horse didn't move. Once again, he yelled, "Let's go, Cindy, we can do this." Pull, but again, the horse didn't move. The farmer then yelled, "Let's go, Bonnie, we can do this." Pull, again, nothing happened. One last time, the farmer yelled, "Let's go, Kiko, we can do this." Pull, and surprisingly, this time around, the horse slowly moved and dragged the traveler's car out of the ditch. And then the traveler said, "Whew, thank you." But curious as to why the farmer called his horse by four different names, he asked the farmer why. The farmer laughed and said, "Oh, Kiko is a blind horse. If he thought he was the only one pulling, he wouldn't even try." Yan yung story. And the reason why I chose that story is most of the replies that we got, okay, most of the replies that we got dun sa parang I tried it once, but it never worked for me. I can never hold myself accountable. Yun yung mga reply dun sa SMIQ namin. So where do you get the objection? Yung personal objection, you also get it from your SMIQ. So kunin mo yung pinakamalaki doon, yung paulit-ulit na malaki. Sa hyper to yung pinakamalaki na inuulit-ulit nila na parang yun yung gusto nilang sabihin, and then you address it in an email. Okay? So ito yung parang bridge. It's a story that can be any more true for each and every one of us. Pwede ko rin sabihin dito, you know what? Most of us have have the same problem. For example, paste ko lang yung problem dito, sabihin ko, most of us have the same problem. So ito na yung feel. I feel you, kumbaga you acknowledge it. Following a diet plan, anything worth doing can really be a lonely road. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm saying I feel you. In fact, I know it all too well. Felt. Now you go to empathy mode. Felt. We all have tried. I did back when I didn't know any better. The stress, the motivation issues. Most of the time, you feel like you're running in circles. With no results to show for it, it's easy to go back into our old ways. Honestly, how many times have you said, "I'm going to do this tomorrow," but never really get to it? So you're showing them na alam mo yung pinagdadaanan nila. You felt it. You acknowledge, yep, that's right. I felt it too. And then found. Don't worry, you're not the only one. Kumbaga, di ba sabi ko nga, bawal silang sisihin. Di ba? Bawal silang sisihin. So this is what you do. You feel, you felt, you found. Without someone to hold us accountable for action, our resolve gets weaker. And sometimes you simply just have to believe that there's value to be acquired from other people, the willingness to share, and most importantly, the rare opportunity to be listened to. Now, ito na yung future pacing. Dito na papasok yung future pacing. Okay? So you didn't say they're wrong. Diba? If you notice, I didn't even blame them. I didn't even say anything remotely or close to the word wrong. Pero it's like I'm proving them wrong, parang ganun, but without saying it. Feel, felt, found, and then future pacing. Imagine your most pressing questions answered by the most diverse collection of members crammed into one private Facebook group. Imagine that instead of going at it alone, you get 1,000 members, other folks not only support and celebrate with your success, but getting feedback from those who have been in your situation once and know exactly what to recommend. Imagine having a supportive base of raving fans and inspiring teachers that propel you forward to continue your health journey for life. Imagine me by your side answering your every question through Facebook or email. Yeah. And then there's proof, right? how much trial and error do you think that would save you? Like, ito, like Alan nyo, who discovered na pwede palang kumain ng sandamakmak na chicharon at hindi tumaba. Yeah. And for her, getting getting consistent and for Alan, getting consistent support from the group and yours truly, and meeting more like-minded souls is already enough to push him to change his lifestyle and make permanent healthy choices. Yeah. That's the ano, that's the power of ano, of validation, future pacing, and then proof. You're literally telling them no without saying no. And did anyone follow that? Parang tulog na yata yung mga tao. Inaantok sila, wala silang energy. Guys, sabihin niyo sa akin kung hindi niyo na-gets Kasi para nakapagpahinga kayo, gano'n. Digesting pa. Alright. Ano, mapanood niyo naman sa replay. Okay. So there. Chimuchicha. And so that's the eighth puzzle piece. Your ninth puzzle piece is demonstration. Demonstration, it's like tackling, same like objection, di ba? Although ito personal, yung demonstration mo, it's more on the product side of things. So, halimbawa, di ako naniniwala, di ba? If you ever, di ako naniniwala na gumagana yung product. So if you followed everything to the letter, by now your audience probably loves what you have. Okay, they want it really bad. In fact, they already love it, and some of them have already bought. But there is just some who are, yung mga reserve, yung buyers who would take their time in choosing whether a product is right or not for them. And the big thing about that is, they don't want to be the first to try it. Yun lang naman yun eh. And they just don't want to be the first and look foolish doing it. So the easiest way or the easiest key to unlocking this objection, yung demonstration kasi is more on a product objection, is by simply showing it in action. Like, for example, ito, yung Brian Harris. Does anyone know who Brian Harris is? And no, yes, no, I don't. Right? That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. If you don't know who Brian Harris is, that's fine. Okay. Um, Brian Harris is actually selling a product about list building. Okay? Selling a product about list building, and the very best way, okay, the easiest way to unlocking objection is by simply showing it in action. And if you see here, sinasabi niya mismo how to build that list. Pinapakita niya na sa'yo. Like literally, eto siya. Yan na, sinasabi niya na sa'yo. That's demonstration in action. Like, binibigay niya na yung mismo yung susi on how you can do it. Okay? So how I use testimonial hack to get 3,250. So if this resonates with you, there's a good chance you'd be joining his Now, you could do it something like that or like this. Okay? If you can do video showing a demonstration of your product, then that would be best. Like for example, watch the tutorial video now. Launch email na to, but he's already telling you exactly paano mo siya gagawin. In fact, I remember vividly, it was in one of his emails wherein sabi niya, okay, so ito gawin niyo, email niya ngayon Email niya ngayon. Tapos, pag email niya, kinabukasan, may nakakuha ng 100 subscribers. Sa tingin mo, yung nakakuha ng 100 subscribers na, sa tingin mo hindi kasali yun. Di ba? That would be pretty stupid, di ba? Parang, ginawa ko tong sinabi mo, gumana. Anong gagawin ko? Di pa ba ako sasali sa'yo? Di ba? You've just literally destroyed every objection about about your product when I just tried it. And so Alan says, ito nga yung sunod na example, di ba? Either that or something like this. Now, I'm not sure if you guys received it kasi we didn't get a ton of chances to send emails kasi sumali na kayo agad. Ayun, ang bilis sumali agad. So, di ba, ito yung demonstration side of things. Like, whenever you can show someone na madali lang siya. In fact, I remember, sino ba to? Si Paul yata yan. I remember him saying na this is the reason why he joined. Nakita niya yung template dito and naging interested siya on joining EUI. Yeah. So sabi ko dito, so yesterday we opened doors to the EUI, blah, blah, blah. And I have to admit, yeah, you want to make this program as newbie friendly as possible. So yung pag sinabi namin newbie friendly, yung iba nagsabi, hindi nga, baka mahirap yan eh. So instead of telling you what we plan to do about it, sabi nga nila, talk is cheap, let us show you instead. And what we're going to do today is help you write an email right here, right now. And cool, good. Now first grab a pen and paper, done, great. And for this email writing exercise, imagine for a second that your clients are people selling real estate information products. Okay, so yan. Scenario is this. Nagbinigay ko na mismo yung mga multiple choice and then may template na mismo. So all you have to do really dito sa email na to is wala lang, fill in the blanks. That's exactly what you're gonna do. And lalabas na yung email mo na ganito. Yan na yung email na maayos. Okay, nothing special. We just filled in the blanks with the info already given above. And if you're an email copywriter, it's the kind of info your clients would have readily available. Diba? Now, I'd like you to pause and take a second. Diba? Do you realize what you've just done? You, John, have just wrote an email, a post-webinar email using a template that has generated hundreds of thousands of dollars for some of my clients to be exact. How was it? Was it hard? Did you find it easy? Yeah. Jay says pa yung point na nag-decide ako mag-enroll eh. Right. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of people would not even dare answer this. Pero pag nakita na lang nila, ganun lang pala kadali. Saka sila sasali. Yan. Yeah, nag-stop ng email sequence kasi nag-enroll na kayo agad. Excited kayo eh. Yeah. Yeah. Hindi, okay lang na excited kayo. That means we did a good job on the pre-launch. Naks. Ayan. We did a good job with the pre-launch. Kaya, sorry. Sorry naman. Anyway, yun nga. Now, if there's none, wala kang ganyan, di ba? Supplement. Tapos wala ka namang masyadong demonstration and whatnot. You can do it like this. Pwedeng testimonial. If there's not, a testimonial would do. Di ba? A simple testimonial, kumbaga, like this. So an email has been sent to me by one of your soon-to-be blank members. Dito ko lang ng word na tribe kasi hindi naman pwede naman sa tribe. Apparently, I screwed up claiming that the program will give you a healthy lifestyle in 8 weeks. Tapos, insert outlier testimonial. When I say outlier, yun yung mga tipong pumayat agad within 1 week. Ganun. Or within 4 weeks, ito na yung binawas niya ng timbang. Ayan. So, outlier siya. Hindi siya yung normal na nangyayari. But according to those inside the program, with a screenshot of an email about it only takes 4 weeks. Oops. Oh, and did I tell you that she also lost 3 kilograms along the way? Yeah. Just like blank who lost 5 kilograms while rekindling her love for food. Testimonial ulit. There's actually a lot of examples inside the community telling me that I downplay the results they'll achieve inside the program. You can see them here. And that was last year. The course is now version 2.0, and I have continued to improve in the program by asking existing members what they found helpful and what they want to see improve. Listen, there are a lot of weight loss programs and diet products out there that promise a lot of over-the-top results. So yeah, maybe I did screw up and undersold the program, but I rather underpromise but over-deliver than the other way around. In my opinion, it's 100 times better that way. I get to keep the not so serious out of the program, and I get to surprise those who are willing to take a chance on themselves. With that said, if you're still on the fence, guarantee. Yeah. Yeah. Did you guys see what we did there? Sana, sa email. Like, yeah, we did show the testimonial, but what else do you think did we do? Yung obvious sa inyo. What was the obvious thing? Yep, we made them jump the fence. Yeah. Guarantee, yes. And if you notice, guys, if you notice it, ang promise natin sa kanila sa opening email, magkakaroon sila ng results within 8 weeks. Di ba? 8 weeks. So, when I told them na magkakaroon sila ng result 8 weeks, yung objection nila is magkakaroon ba ako ng result within 8 weeks? Yun ang tanong nila sa sarili nila, magkakaroon ba ako ng result after 8 weeks? But here's the thing, nilagyan natin ng testimonial na 4 weeks. Tapos isang after ilan yan? Parang ganon, di ba? Like, isa 4, isa parang 5, parang ganon, 5 kilograms. Para ang tanong niya ngayon, shit, yung tanong ko 8 weeks, ito nga 4 weeks lang meron nakuha, oh. Ito nga, ano pa lang, like, alam mo yun, yung kumbaga yung objection ko as a person na 8, kaya ko ba na 8 weeks maglulus ako ng weight? Tapos bigla may nakita 4 weeks to 5 weeks. If they can do it in 4 weeks, guess what would you think? Anong iisipin mo? That within those 8 weeks, kaya mo rin mag-lose ng weight. Kasi sila nga 4 weeks pa lang nakalose na ng weight eh. Nag-get siya ba guys? Exactly. Yun, Audrey, like, yun yung hinahanap mong word. They would think that 8 weeks is very, very doable. Yan yung demonstration in action. Kung wala kang, tulad nung kaninang kay Brian Harris, kung wala ka nung template nung tulad nung ginawa namin ni Alan, then you daanin mo sa testimonial. But the testimonial should be like really an outlier na tipong sobrang wow. Halimbawa, if I'm launching Tribe, siguro magpo-post ako ng testimonial na 3 days pa lang may client na. Na imagine what you can do in a year. Ayun, sa EUI, may client na. Eh, outlier naman yung sa EUI. So, kanina. Si Roxy gusto bilhin yung program eh. Ayan. Diba? But if isipin mo kung ito talaga yung problema mo, there's a good chance na maano ka talaga. Na mapapabili ka talaga. Yan. Yan. Okay, guys, gets ba? Gets na? So before we move on to the next one, last two. Guys, give me, medyo nanghihina na ako. Give me a quick, para alam ko naman na meron pang mga gising dito. Grabe. 2.5. Diyos ko, Lord. Nanghihina na ako. Natututo naman kayo? Natututo naman kayo, guys? Bakit? Actually, dalawa na nga kape ko dito. Puro kape na eh. Kape at Yossi. Okay, game. Saan kayo nakakita ng ganitong nagtuturo na tapos din? Nangihina. Nangihina. Ayan. Okay, game. Yan. Number 10. Parang top 10 lang ng ta. Oh, by the way nga pala, just a reminder doon sa testimonial. Okay? Nakalimutan ko sabihin, if you can, if you have a testimonial, that's good. But if you can, as much as possible, okay, grab a testimonial that starts with a problem. Okay? That would be far more better than just a testimonial that says how great you are or how awesome you are, or says like, I lost 5 kilograms without any context kung ano yung pinanggalingan. Right? So maganda if you can grab something that says, oh, back then we're having this kind of problem, and then John came and fixed it for us. Yan. And then boom, it became Coco Crunch. Mas maganda ganun, right? Mas maganda na it's something na problema before, mas nakaka-relate yung nagbabasa. Instead of like, wow, grabe. Ang astig talaga ni Coach John. Pinapayat niya ako. 5 kilograms agad, 1 week lang. Even if sobrang outstanding ng results, if wala yung context ng problem, it's not a good testimonial. Yun lang. Right? So next, remove the buying pressure. So basically, you've done almost everything. By this time, you've done almost everything in your power to close the sale with your emails. So right at this moment, your prospect should be, ano yung word na yun? Like teetering. Teetering over the edge. Yan. So, kumbaga, any slight provocation na tipong maano siya, ma-provoke siya, may just make, they may just buy. Parang ganun na yan eh. Nasa dulo na siya ng bangin. Konting tulak na lang. So that's how close, that's how close they are to buying from you. Now, remember, removing the buying pressure doesn't always mean na na may money back guarantee. Okay? Hindi lang to money back guarantee. There are a lot of ways that you can remove the buying pressure. There's a whole lot of ways you can think of to remove the buying pressure. Actually, one way is like pay ba product mo is $8,000. Tapos buy it now, pay me later. Parang 2,000 muna, and then the rest na 8,000, you can pay that to me kapag kumita ka na doon sa tuturo ko sa'yo. That's another way of removing the buying pressure. Okay? So another thing is free trial muna, tapos saka na yung magbabayad kapag nagustuhan. That's another way of removing the buying pressure. Okay? So hindi lang to puro money back guarantee. Okay? Kumbaga, what you have to understand at this point is that at mga ganitong, yung mga nasa dulo na siya ng bangin, they're feeling a whole lot of pressure from taking action. Di ba? Parang nasa dulo ka, ayaw mong tumalon. Parang ganun. That's what they're feeling right now. So, kumbaga, what I'm trying to say is the safety of staying, okay? The safety of staying in the same spot and hindi tumalon is actually stronger. Okay? Or choosing not to do anything is stronger as time passes. As they sit on their decision, it becomes stronger. So kung nandito na sila, nasa dulo na sila, kasi hindi mo nirelieve yung buying pressure, then ito yung part na mahihirapan kang pabilhin sila. Okay? So, when we remove the buying pressure, we actually do it hiding in plain sight. Kasi pag nag-send ka ng email, okay, one thing you don't want to do is sound as if you're begging for the sale. So if you're sending a guarantee email lang, like all you're talking about is the guarantee, you would sound as if you're begging for the sale. And and when we write the email that's only focused on the guarantee, yun yung parang even if that's not what we mean, yun yung nate-take away nila doon. Parang grabe naman to, desperado na nagpapamani back guarantee na. So our vehicle of choice para itago yung neediness na yun, right? So that it would fly under the radar is yung simple FAQ email. Nakita nyo ba to kay Alan? Like there's yung mga hindi sumali kagad, yung mga nagpabebe, yung mga nagpabebe na sumali sa EUI, malamang naka-receive itong email na to. Ayan. Yeah, is any of this your concern? And I've been getting questions from folks since I announced the enrollment of your program. It's pretty straightforward, blah, blah, blah. All you have to do is click on the link below, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd take a moment to answer some of the more common questions. Let's get started. Yeah. So yun lang, FAQ lang. Like 4, 5 questions. Okay? And the last question, mapapansin nyo, ito, ano siya, parang template na siya. Gagayahin mo na lang. So kumbaga, tinatago natin yung guarantee sa FAQ. Kasi kung guarantee email, isang email, puro guarantee lang yung pag-uusapan, you would look as needy. You would look very needy and hindi sila bibili. Yan. So ito yun. Here's what I recommend. Grab it now so you have the chance. Watch the videos, join the weekly calls, interact with the Facebook group, enjoy the bonuses. In short, try it out. Take the full 30, 60, 80 days. Use it to your heart's content. If you like it, stay. If not, simply let me know by sending me your completed assignment. Yeah. Yan yung nakalagay doon. Alright? Now, ito yung medyo ninja trick. Okay? Ito yung medyo ninja trick doon sa mga tanong. Okay? If you notice, ito, okay, I know this program is a life changer, but isn't it too expensive? What do you guys notice? What do you guys notice with this question? May napapansin ba kayo? Okay. Grace price anchoring, and non-objection. Okay. So here's the thing. Di ba pwede ko namang gawing question, isn't it too expensive? Pero instead, I made it, I know this program is a life changer, but isn't this too expensive? Di ba, nilalagyan ko na ng words na, kumbaga, they can't ask that question without admitting to themselves that this program is a life changer. Ito pa. Ito. My biggest obstacle is lack of motivation and dedication. Is this program for me? Pero dinagdagan ko ng, I know that the program works like a charm. Di ba? Hindi ko naman siya kailangan idagdag, dinalagay ko lang siya dyan. Para, if you ask me the question, but my biggest obstacle, it's like accepting the fact that this program already works like a charm. Medyo budol-budol moves tong ng konti. Ayan. Nag-gets ba yung subtle difference ng mga questions? Ayan, tulad nito, I don't have the time. Instead of saying I don't have the time, nilagay ko, the program sounds great, but I simply don't have the time. Diba? I could have just asked like a simple, diba? Like, I don't have the time. What if I don't have the time? Question. Hindi. The program sounds great, but what if I don't have the time? It's like, when you ask that question, you're gonna have to admit that the program sounds great. Ayan. Nag-gets ba, guys? Medyo budol-budol moves lang siya, pero, ayan. I think like it's like an NLP, it's like an NLP thing. Ayan. So yeah, that's the 10th puzzle piece. Woo! Ayan, malapit na. So, the last puzzle piece. Ayan. Last puzzle piece is the hidden puzzle piece. And the hidden puzzle piece, di ba? So, pang 11 siya. Now, before we go into that, pabitin pabebe rin And so by now you've probably already seen yung like if you've listened since simula, you probably already saw how this plays out. Nakita niyo na ba guys yung parang full picture how this plays out in a launch? Like how it connects with the emotion. Parang ganun. So you got their attention. Imagine this, like you got their attention by showcasing the opportunity. You hold their attention, reminding them about their problems. Tapos you made your why known, diba? So right now they're thinking. So by the time na you made your why known, by the time na sinabi mo yung problem sila, they're probably thinking, maybe I need this. Tapos you made your why known, sabi niya, okay naman pala tong taong to, di ba? Parang gano'n. Tapos you had them relate to your story. Nasisip niya ngayon, ayos parang ako lang to. Di ba? Tapos syempre, pag naisip niya yung mga yun, ang sunod sa isip niya, so, teka, ano gagawin ko? And that's where the fifth puzzle piece comes in, yung problem solution, diba? They're excited, they're anxious, and then boom, you drop the open cart email. They read it together with the sales page. Tapos napili na, sandali, parang may objections pa ako dito. They still have some reservations. Doon naman papasok yung objection puzzle piece mo, yung personal, diba? To preempt the objection, as if you're reading their mind. To make them think, all right, sige, kaya ko to. Diba? Tapos pakit sila sa sales page. Tapos before they buy, isipin na rin na, sandali, teka, paano kung dito gumana para sa akin? And then babagsak naman niya ngayon demonstration puzzle piece, allowing them to imagine what it feels like having your product in their hands. Isipin na ngayon, okay, yung pala yun. And just when they're about to change their, to back out and change their minds, so parang paisip pa lang siya ng gano'n, kinabukas ang email, boom, nag-drop ka naman ng guarantee piece. You relieve their buying pressure, obliterating any objection they have left. Diba? I hope you guys can imagine yung process that was taking place. Hindi lang yung copy, like yung psychology of the whole thing. Okay? Because the last puzzle piece is urgency. It's urgency and yung scarcity. And I say it's hidden, it's a hidden puzzle piece because it's insinuated and it's like embedded on every email that we send. Diba? And as early as now, I want you guys to remember, okay, you remember this. You need to accept the fact that people buy according to their own timeline, not yours. Okay? So if you didn't put any scarcity or any sense of urgency in your emails, then they definitely would not take action on it. Because like I said, they have their own timeline, they have their own timetable. Ito yun eh. If your customers, if your audience can prolong the decision, they would. Okay, that's how that's how us humans are made of. We're guilty of this. But I think we're all fans of procrastinating, especially when it comes to reaching out inside our wallets. Mas matagal tayong bumunot sa wallet, mas maganda. We have an incredibly strong tendency to sit on our butts, even if we actually want the product. That's how we are. Tulad nung sinasabi ko, yung laptop kayo na kung di pa nasira yun, hindi talaga ako tatayo at bibili. Yan. It's just normal, it's human nature. And it's the sole reason why, the sole reason why your launch, okay, your launch should be always, always an event. And it should follow some strict time frame, quantity, and deadlines. Importante to. This is like, alisin mo na lahat. Okay, ito ganito ka-importante yung hidden piece na to. Alisin mo na lahat ng pinagsasabi ko kanina. Samahan mo lang ng urgency, ng scarcity, ng deadline, may bibili. Simply because some people are just afraid of missing out. Okay? So kalimutan mo na lahat ng pinagsasabi natin kanina. Kahit ito lang tinuro ko sa inyo, may bibili. Right? Now, the huge part of the urgency and scarcity piece is the close card. So what I'm gonna show you is how you're gonna be ending, okay? At ending na to how you're gonna be ending on the last day and still have the trust of your subscribers intact, and so that they won't feel as if binentahan mo lang sila. Okay? Now, these aren't your normal closing emails, right? Kasi at this point, if they're still not buying, that means there's still one huge objection left unsolved. And ito yun. Can I do this? Yan yung mga pinakamalaking objection that most copywriters are not able to solve. Can I do this? Like sobrang kahit di ba mapapansin mo sobrang ganda ng product, sobrang galing ng mentor, kahit alam pa niya, ang daming testimonials. But if he or she decides na hindi ko kaya yan, they wouldn't buy. So the best way that you can do is make them believe in themselves. Make them believe that they too can do this. That's the goal. Okay, so example lang email 1. And, di ba? Subject line pa lang, obvious na kung ano yung, di ba? Obvious na agad kung ano yung pinapatamaan ni Alan. Kaya ko ba itong panindigan? Yeah. It's Alan. Just a quick reminder, today's the last day. Blah, blah. Yeah. Can relate to any of these. Fear of failure. Can I make a confession? Dinahanan ko din yan. So what, guys, if you notice, what is Alan doing here? Ala, nakalimutan na. We just talked about it earlier. What is Alan doing here right now? Mirroring Pwede.
Yeah. The feel, the felt, and the found. If you notice it, he's doing the validate, di ba? The validate, the the feel, felt, found. He's validating by saying, can I make a confession? Tinaanan ko din yan. Di ba? Honestly, I was tripled by pressure. Yeah. That's when I asked for help. And I found. That's when I asked for help sa mga fresh grad industry. Most of them who mas bata pa sa akin.
And then, ayun na, I did improve. For now, I want you to focus on this number, 47%. Okay. So that's exactly what Alan is doing. He's just trying to validate your fear and telling you that it's all right to have that fear. You know, my point, failure is not to be worried about. It is to be expected. Like now that you see it, it kind of makes sense kung bakit nag-send si Alan. Does it make sense now, guys? Kung bakit nag-send si Alan ng email na ganito? Right. Kasi nga, most of the time, yung mga nandito pa sa part na to, ang problema na lang nila, kaya ko ba itong gawin? Si Aya, Alan, nabiktima mo daw si, ano, si Aya. Happy victim naman daw siya. Yeah. So, ayan. So, here's that. I'm in na po. Ayan. So, there. So, email number 2, kung mapapansin nyo, ito, first, di ba, balik tayo sa personal objection. Personal objection, yung email 2, product objection. And saan mo makikita yun? Dito, di ba? Ito, product objection. Ito, personal objection. So, inulit mo lang ulit. Personal and then product. Is the product legit? So, we sent you this email. Ayan. So, we said na, okay, now I want you guys to, to study this if you have the time. Kasi, like tulad niya, no, GTL, Ala, no brainer, ang hirap tanggihan tambala, basta anything. And yes, okay, yeah, no. I'm telling them na, can you find any course out there who have, who have uh, people na nag-enroll ng 2 beses or 3? Yeah. Yan ang hinahamon ko dito. Like, can you say the same about the courses you've enrolled in before? Now, I know testimonials are nice and all, but if you're also on the fence, you're probably wondering about 2 things. Either you're wondering if you have what it takes to make it work, or you want to know if it will work for you. Personal, product. If we're really being transparent, we're glad you didn't take this our word, just take our word for it. Realize you could write a letter as long as no limitang it and still couldn't convince you with words alone. And pushing you to make a decision that's not in your best interest is not what writing emails is for. Persuasion isn't telling people they should change. It's to make them think about the simple question: what might I change? That being said, we can make a bold suggestion. And if you notice, we're not being needy about this email. There's nothing needy about it. Yeah. Tapos ito, diba, like takeaway parang, if you're unsure about any of those 3, do yourself a favor and close this email now. I'm not kidding. We don't want you buying simply because we convinced the hell out of you. That's not how we roll. You ultimately choose what feels right for you and that you won't let fear or doubt get in the way. The only thing we ask is that you actually choose. Whether it's your sounding yes, I'm in, or no, I'll face my fears some other time. We're just glad to play a part in the journey. Right? So there's no, kasi the moment na naging salesy ka sa mga last emails mo, it's gonna leave a bad taste in their mouth. And di ba sabi nga namin, Alan, we're all about playing the long game. That's what we care about. We're all about playing the long game. Yeah. So That's the second, that's the second email. The last email, 3 emails ang you-send sa last day. And the reason why it's 3 emails on the last day and 2 on the first day, bakit nga ulit? Anyone know? Bakit 2 emails sa first day, 3 emails sa last day? Wala. Tulog na. Yun. Tama si Janie. Diba sabi ko kanina, most of your sales are gonna come from the beginning and the end. So kung most of your sales are gonna come at the end, bakit ka magsisend ng isang email lang, di ba? Alam mo namang maraming bentang papasok sa dulo. Isa lang email sa send mo. Di parang ka nagtapo ng pera. Right? So, magsisend ka na rin, mag-close ka na rin lang, close it strong. Right? And the email 3 takeaway, ito lang siya. Yan lang. Okay, pwede nyo nang kopyahin na yan din. Yan na siya. Basically, hindi mo na siya close ng hard. Diba? Hindi mo siya close ng hard. Wala lang, mag-thank you ka na lang. Kasi you've sent, by now, you probably send them a lot of emails. Araw-araw. Dalawa pa nung opening, tapos 3 nung closing. So it only makes sense that you send them a thank you for keeping up with you. Maganda kung may video pa. So they would feel like you're sincere about the whole thing that you're doing. Yeah. In fact, itong thank you na to, hindi man siya nagbebenta. Dito actually maraming bumibili. Kasi ito na talaga yung last chance. Kuha muna yung mga tao dito. Yeah. Okay. So, do you have any questions, guys? Nagets ba yung huli? Yung huling piece? And, wala. Magising pa. Nice. Galing. Okay. So, for those who are wondering, kasi mahaba yun di ba? Mahaba 3 hours na training, di ba? So, there are probably some of you here are wondering, does it work? And the answer to that is this. Yeah. Do you guys know her? Yeah. So kumbaga the emails that she patterned, yung TRC nga pala, Truly Rich Club. The emails that she had patterned, yeah. Siya yung first nun. Siya yung first, si Alan yung second. Salamat siya hindi nag-send ng si Alan. Lux. Yeah. But yeah. Yun yung So, it works, right? It works. Kasi just imagine, ayun nga, having the templates. Kung siya nga diba? Kung siya nga, what she has is just the email samples. Kayo, on the other hand, would get this. That's what you're gonna get. Diba? Pag hindi nyo pa nga nagawa yun, ewan ko na lang. Right? Kung hindi nyo pa nagawa yun, ewan ko na lang. Okay, so, any questions? Yan. Any questions, guys? Kung may question kayo, tanong nyo sa chat, tawag sa question kasi hindi ko nakikita, promise yung question. Natanong, na-unlock po ba ang bonus? Um, Parang hindi naman. Parang hindi naman. Kasi pagkita ko dun nung naglagay ako ng 6 minutes, parang may 5 pang kulang. Check ko mamaya. Hmm. Check ko ulit mamaya. Okay. Pero alam ko talaga, naglagay ako 6 minutes, may 5 pang kulang. Grabe. Kung 3 oras at gusto mo pa talaga ng bonus. Ayan. Joyce says, pwede bang ito lang ang email service na i-offer? Well, mahirap kasing i-offer to eh. Mahirap siyang i-offer in a way na meron kasing mga sikat na copywriter na doing launches. Tapos, kung hindi ka pa proven, unless you get your foot in the door, di ba? Yun yung sasabi natin, you wanna get your foot in their door. So that's why you're offering yung mga win back, mga ganun, like giving them money first. Kapag they trust you well enough, saka ka gumawa nito. Yan. Um, Coach, paano kung di open ang client's idea ng guarantee? Kahit 30 days, ayaw pa din. Eh di, isip ka ng ano, isip ka ng other ways to remove the buying pressure. Like free shipping. Like things that would make it like parang, okay, sige na nga. Ganun. Ano bang product yun, April? Anong product siya? Anyway, guys, while you're still here, can you guys, can you guys, do me a favor and paki-comment naman doon sa, sa post ng mga, niya, ng mga takeaways niya. Alright? Just do me a favor. Yun na lang. Paki-comment na lang nung, habang nagsasagot ng mga questions dito. If you could go there while you're here and type in your takeaways while it's still fresh para naaalala nyo. Yun ay kung may maalala kayong takeaway, parang dami natin pinag-usapan. Yan. Pwede. Supplements ko, sobrang bilib sa product, ayaw mag-guarantee. Parang labo naman. So, anong, pwede naman siya, pwede pa namang bumente. Isang piece lang naman siya ng puzzle eh. So, okay lang yun. Pero you have to think of other ways. Diba? You can ask that inside the group. Malay mo, iba may idea. Ayan, pwedeng results guarantee. Okay yun, no? If you don't get results, I hop on a call and work with you. Nice. Non-monetary. Ayan. Okay, it says, let's say you will do a pre-sale first before launching to validate if any. Paano mo may iba si pre-sale from launch mismo? Kasi di ba, for example, sa pricing, sa launch parang may early bird promo ka na rin sa price and bonuses. Wala namang early bird. We're only doing the early bird kapag the first time, beta product na lang. That's the only time we do the early bird. Yung Tribe, hindi na nag-early bird yun eh. Wala na early bird dun. Kasi pag ilang launch na nun eh. Nag-early bird lang no first launch. But nung second, third, fourth, fifth, wala nang early bird price yan. Yeah. Okay, so usually isa na lang. Like for example, yung ask method ni Ride Levesque, it's always $2,000. There's no early bird price for that. Yeah. Paano mo may iba si pre-sale from launch mismo? I would suggest, ako nga, if there's anything that I would like you guys to take note of, you want to avoid selling for more than 2 weeks. Yung kasi yung ginagawa ng iba, nagpe-pre-sell more than 2 weeks. Ganun. Pre-sell 1 week, tapos launch ng 2 weeks. Sobrang haba na nun. The people cannot, kumbaga, people who are watching it, the launch can no longer um, identify what is kung ano yung event na nangyari, wala nang urgency, wala nang scarcity. Eh di ba yun yung ano, eh di ba yun yung pinakamalaking part na yung hidden na ano na piece, yung urgency and scarcity. So kung wala na yun, it doesn't feel like an event. Yung lunch mo magiging parang normal na email sales lang siya. So it's not advisable that you go longer than 2 weeks. Max na yun 2 weeks. Personally, I don't do any launches longer than 1 week. Laging yung open cart and closed cart laging Monday and Friday lang. Yun lang yun. Ironically, mas maraming sales kapag ganun. If people know na magsasara ka agad. Take EUI for example, di ba? 3 araw lang namin na lunch. Tapos nahiya na lang kami dun sa mga nag-abang ng Lunes, kaya nag-lunch kami na sa araw. Ayun. So, guys, any other questions? I still have like 4 minutes. 4 minutes before we adjourn. Wala, wala na yatang mga tanong, guys. Guys, if wala nang tanong, just say none, ganun, para I know na we could get off this call. Okay na po. Napagod kayo, no? Napagod kayo sa dami ng no? Right. Sige, sige. So I think that's it for me, guys. If you have any questions, ask it inside the group. Okay, naman, may sasagot naman doon malamang, right? But kumbaga, gusto ko lang kasing sulitin yung time na we're doing this. Kasi 8 weeks lang, meron tayo. So we want to give you everything that we can in, in a span of 8 weeks. Kaya sumabog man ang utak nyo o hindi. Alright? So yun lang. Yun lang naman. Yeah, thank you guys. Don't forget that takeaways. Takeaways. Don't forget. All right. Yeah. See you guys. Good night.